Chapter 51. Xiaohua received a phone call and went out. Zhang Yu played with the nanny bug and the burning bug in the laboratory for a while and did not let Magiana out. It is not the right time yet, and we need to put up with Magiana a little. At least when Zhang Yu has the ability to protect himself, he will choose to make Magiana public. Sometimes Zhang Yu could clearly feel Magiana's envy. Although Magiana didn't say it, he could still see it from Magiana's eyes. Mage Arna also wanted to stand by his side openly and help him fight. When Mage Arna heard him tell his mother that he wanted a second Pokémon, Magiana lowered her head, her eyes were dim, her ears drooped, and the metal on her body didn't have a single gleam. She looked listless and aggrieved, and Zhang Yu was really going to break. After experiencing 2 crises and feeling guilty about Mage Arna, Zhang Yu has never been so eager for strength. He needs strength, and he needs a space where Mage Arna can train with other Pokémon, or at least allow Mage Arna to live a happy life. Fortunately, Zhang Yu captured Babybug. As a parenting Pokémon, Babybug could understand Magiana's thoughts very well. It gave full play to its advantages, constantly comforting Mage Arna and accompanying Mage Arna when Zhang Yu was not around. Just as Zhang Yu was making some plans for the future, Xiaohua opened the door and walked in with 2 women. "Xiao Yu, come here." Xiaohua's voice interrupted Zhang Yu's thoughts. Xiaohua walked up to them and introduced the 2 parties. After a round of greetings, Zhang Yu learned that the lady in front of him was about 40 years old and her name was Tang Kainyu. She had a gentle and kind face. Although there were some fine lines at the corners of her eyes, it did not detract from her elegant temperament. Her eyes were bright and deep, as if she could see into people's hearts. Her long black hair was simply tied into a bun, with a few strands of hair gently hanging by her ears, adding a touch of softness to her gentleness. She was wearing a plain long dress, fully showing her gentle and elegant temperament. Another young woman named Tang Yuxuan, with a delicate face, white skin, and long black hair cascading down like a waterfall, exuding a cool temperament. She has a high nose bridge, rosy lips, a slim and elegant figure, and wears a white dress with the hem fluttering gently, like a fairy descending to earth. "I won't talk to you anymore. There will be plenty of opportunities in the future. You see, Zhang Yu can't wait any longer," Tang Kainyu said with a smile. Zhang Yu scratched his head a little embarrassedly. He really couldn't wait to meet his new partners. "Listen carefully to your Aunt Tang," Xiaohua said to Tang Kainyu, "Zhang Yu is in your hands now. Give him a lesson. Don't give me face." Tang Yuxuan next to her pursed her lips, wanting to laugh but not daring to. In the car, Tang Kainyu looked at Zhang Yu and said, "Let me tell you about choosing Pokémon first. Not long ago, a batch of water-leaping fish were born in the water secret realm. Recently, a batch of water-leaping fish eggs have not yet been classified. You can choose one from these 2. However, if you choose from the eggs, your qualifications may not meet the requirements. You must be mentally prepared. If you don't want Aqualad, you can choose another water-type Pokémon. We can still do this in the water realm. In addition to the water-leaping fish, our black seahorse, Magikarp, Lapras, Uglius, Sea Lion, and Slowpoke are all domestic signatures." Hearing this, Zhang Yu's saliva was about to flow. The final evolution of the Ink Seahorse is the Thorn Dragon King, a noble dragon type with 2 weaknesses, 3 resistances, a special attacker in rainy days, the Thorn Dragon King under rainy days, known as the Rainy Day Water Dragon King. The rich skill pool brings an excellent attack surface, and the racial value is like a small bucket. It has no obvious shortcomings, but also no obvious advantages. Its true strength can only be exerted on rainy days. He has no idea of forming a weather team yet, but that doesn't stop him from coveting the handsome body of the Dragon King. Gyarados, the evolved form of Magikarp, is commonly known as the Great Brutalist. It is a combination of water and flying types and can evolve at only level 20. It is very suitable for the early transition. Imagine that everyone else is a small Karami, and you suddenly come with a big brutality with a racial value of 540. The intimidation characteristic is also very useful, with high physical attack and very good resistance, 5 resistances, 1 immunity, 1 double weakness, and 1 quadruple weakness. It's just that its speed is relatively slow, and most of its water-type moves are special attacks, which makes Gyarados a bit awkward and it can't learn any high-powered water-type physical attack moves. Similarly, as a flying-type Pokémon, he cannot learn flying-type physical moves, but he can Mega Evolve. Pokémon like Magikarp are really suitable for collecting, and then selling them on a large scale after Mega Evolution. Zhang Yu suddenly found a way to make money. Lapras is his favorite Pokémon. He prefers to call it Dragonite, a combination of water and ice. Zhang Yu was deeply impressed by this Pokémon. It fits his aesthetic taste. At that time, he thought Dragonite was a quasi-god, and Dragonite was a Pokémon that could be Gigantamaxed. When Zhang Yu heard about this Pokémon, Milotica, his eyes lit up, because its evolved form was really too beautiful. Milotica, known as one of the most beautiful Pokémon, was also a Pokémon that Zhang Yu liked very much. Moreover, Milotica could actually learn Dragon Dance. Those with Dragon-type skills could not learn Dragon Dance, but those without Dragon-type skills could. He did not understand, but he was greatly shocked. He knows relatively little about Pidgeot and Slowpoke, but Pidgeot's final evolved form, Sea Lion, is very beautiful and has outstanding resistance, with 6 resistances and 3 weaknesses. If you don't know about other Pokémon, you can leave it to Auntie. Auntie will definitely pick a perfect Pokémon for you. By the way, what is your initial Pokémon? Tang Kainyu and Tang Yuxuan looked at Zhang Yu. As the son of a well-known Pokémon doctor in the country, they were very curious about Zhang Yu's initial Pokémon. In their opinion, the professor of Pokémon must have different ideas from others. Perhaps he can analyze the situation from various angles and choose a Pokémon that is very suitable for the newcomer. Maybe they can learn something from him. Burning Bug, Zhang Yu said somewhat embarrassedly. He could already imagine what expressions the two beauties opposite him would show. Sure enough, when the two beauties heard this, they immediately opened their eyes wide and looked at Zhang Yu. Burning Bugs. Tang Yuxuan, who had hardly spoken, was shocked. Her charming red lips slightly opened as she asked in disbelief. Zhang Yu scratched his head in embarrassment, then nodded. He was used to it. Anyone who heard that his initial Pokémon was a burning bug would be shocked. However, Zhang Yu could understand them. If there was no system, choosing Incinerator would be completely a matter of luck. Although Incinerator's evolved form, Vulcan Moth, seemed very powerful, the key was that not every Incinerator could evolve into Vulcan Moth. The probability was extremely low. It could be said to be the most unsuitable Pokémon for novices. No wonder you want a Water Leaper, it can perfectly complement your Burning Bug. Tang Kainyu suddenly realized, and said, in fact, Magikarp's evolution and Lapras are not bad either. They are both relatively strong Pokémon in the early stages. However, Lapras is relatively rare, and its qualifications may not satisfy you. It's okay, Aunt Tang. It doesn't matter whether you are satisfied or not. The main thing is that I like water Pokémon very much. It's good enough to come here and see these Pokémon. Tang Kainyu showed a satisfied smile. Her family was a pure water family. Hearing that her friends' children liked water Pokémon made her feel closer to them. Chapter 52. Xiaoshihua was her grandfather's favorite student and had a very good relationship with her. Tang Kainyu would naturally not let her child down. She was just afraid that the youngster would be too ambitious and want some Pokémon with championship qualities, so she had to give her a heads up in advance. Today, Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan are choosing their second Pokémon together. The old man has been giving instructions for a long time, and Tang Kainyu has prepared quite a few Pokémon with excellent qualifications. During the whole journey, it was Tang Kainyu who was communicating with Zhang Yu, while Tang Yuxuan spoke less and was more silent, occasionally interjecting a word or two, but generally just listened to the two of them talking. At first, Tang Kainyu wanted to test Zhang Yu's theoretical knowledge. After all, she was responsible for training Zhang Yu for a period of time. If his foundation was too poor, she would also have a headache. However, as the communication deepened, she went from being slightly surprised at the beginning, to being shocked, and finally to being a little numb. Is this the Pokémon professor's child? Her theoretical knowledge is so strong that it's terrifying. She has seen many young talents from big families. After all, she is also a beauty. There is not only a division but a brigade of people chasing after her, and she has a family behind her, and almost all the trainers she comes into contact with are the top ones in the league. However, no trainer's theoretical knowledge could surpass Zhang Yu, and even many researchers had a huge gap between themselves and Zhang Yu in her eyes. The child in front of her is definitely a potential stock worthy of heavy investment. Even if he is not talented as a trainer, she believes that Zhang Yu can definitely become a rising star in the league in terms of research. However, she also felt that Zhang Yu was lacking in some aspects, that is, his understanding of attributes was somewhat lacking. But this is a very normal thing. It is a common problem for new trainers. They have too little contact with Pokémon and have no experience. It's just that the previous communication made her regard Zhang Yu as someone of the same age or even older. The more she looked at Zhang Yu, the more satisfied she became. His handsome, slightly cold appearance was somewhat similar to her daughter's. However, Tang Yuxuan was not as shocked as her mother. She just felt that the boy opposite her knew a lot and seemed very powerful. Just as the three were having a pleasant conversation, the car gradually stopped. It seems we have reached our destination. Get off the bus, dear children. Tang Kainyu got off the car first, followed by Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan. They came to a military jurisdiction. Tang Kainyu took out her ID. After the soldiers registered and tested Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan, the three were taken to a building. Unlike the Vulcan Moth secret realm, this water secret realm is not a cracked space, but a pool of water. There is water vapor all around, which is not humid, but very comfortable. There is a comfortable and relaxing feeling, as if all the makeup has been washed away, and a vibrant breath of life is radiating. This is the embodiment of the overflow of energy from the water secret realm. It's just water energy, not real water. When we walk into the lake, we will enter the water secret realm. Don't worry, just follow me. Tang Kainyu looked back at Zhang Yu, obviously explaining to him alone. Tang Yuxuan had been here many times. Zhang Yu nodded. Seeing this, Tang Kainyu walked into the lake and suddenly disappeared. Tang Yuxuan followed Aunt Tang and her body also gradually disappeared. Then Zhang Yu stepped into the lake and slowly sank into it and finally disappeared. Before Zhang Yu could savor it carefully, he saw a deep blue lake. It was like a void and did not seem like a scene that could exist in the human world. Zhang Yu couldn't help but close his eyes and take a deep breath. The air here, oh, has an indescribable smell, which is very pleasant and has a calming and refreshing effect. It smells good, right? This is the effect of high-quality water attribute energy. It soothes negative emotions and states in the hearts of living things and makes your life more active. In this state, people and Pokémon can concentrate more easily and recover from fatigue faster. It has a multiplier effect on learning and training. It is suitable for Pokémon of any attributes, and even fire-type Pokémon will like it here. Water is the origin of all things, and embracing all things is its essence. Tang Kainyu intentionally or unintentionally taught the two new trainers her understanding of the water attribute. When you finish your training, Auntie recommends that you go to the ocean hot springs in the Magic City to experience it. You will definitely be satisfied. Let's go, I'll take you to the incubator first. Not long after, the three of them came to the incubation room. The incubation room here was obviously much more advanced than the West City Cultivation Center. Zhang Yu clearly felt a lot of active life energy. This is the Squirtle incubator. You can take a look around. I will show you around the incubator until you two have finished choosing your Pokémon. Zhang Yu walked to the hatching window and looked at the eggs in front of him. According to the feedback from the system, this batch of Squirtle eggs cannot be said to be bad, they can only be said to be okay. Most of them are professional level, and a few are gym level. For ordinary people, these are already very good qualifications, but for Zhang Yu, they are a bit not good enough. The Burning Bug Master qualification and Majourna's second level God qualification have infinitely raised his eyesight, causing him to be a bit picky about food. Similarly, Tang Yuxuan did not pay much attention to these eggs. She must have a specific goal. Tang Kainyu then brought the two to the hatching room of Slowpoke and the White Sea Lion. The moment he saw the Slowpokes, Zhang Yu couldn't help but sigh secretly. It was worthy of being the signature of the water secret realm. The qualifications of these Slowpokes were really good. Most of them were at the gym level, 2 were at the Quasi-King level, and 1 was at the King level. You have to know that this is only a part of the egg group, and there are also those that have just hatched, plus other signature Pokémon. The water secret realm is very likely to have more than 10 Pokémon with King level qualifications. It is worthy of being one of the top water secret realms in the league. If the other 18 secret realms are added together, Zhang Yu shuddered all over and felt a chill. If you can occupy a secret realm alone and cultivate unique Pokémon, wouldn't that be a cash cow and the prototype of an organization? You're thinking too far ahead. First, remember this King level Slowpoke. If there's no suitable one, come back. The qualifications of these White Sea Lions are worse, even worse than Squirtle. Next are Seduc, Shelder, Crocodile, Togaman, Nudibranch, and Crawler. Their qualifications are not very high. The highest are Crocodile and Togaman. There are 1 or 2 with Quasi-King qualifications. This shows that the qualifications of the 3 starter Pokémon are generally much higher than those of other Pokémons. Next are the Black Seahorse, the Carp, and the Ugly Fish. When Zhang Yu saw these 3 Pokémon, his eyes lit up. These were all signature Pokémon from Secret Realms and also popular Pokémon. There was not a single one that Zhang Yu disliked. Most of the Pokémon are gym level, there are a few Quasi-Kings and 2 King level ones, their aptitude is really strong, worthy of being a Dragon-type Pokémon. The Magikarp are a little worse, most of them are professional level, there are also some gym level, there are 2 Quasi-Kings and 1 King. Magikarp is the Pokémon with the largest population that Zhang Yu has seen from the beginning to now. With a large base, it is not surprising that there are a few outstanding ones. In Zhang Yu's eyes, the Ugly Fish is not ugly at all, but a bit cute. Its aptitude is better than that of the Magikarp, but the quantity is far less. However, its quality is not as high as that of the Ink Seahorse. Most of them are professional level, there are also many gym level, a few Quasi-King level, and there is only 1 King level. Tisk, I want it, I'll write it down first. Next stop, the water-leaping fish hatchery. Shuiyu, my child, your long-lost father is here. Chapter 53. When he arrived at the incubation room, what caught his eye were the dozen eggs on the incubation table. Zhang Yu quickly walked to the edge of the incubation table and looked inside. Using the system to take a quick look, I couldn't help but be shocked. The quality of this batch of water-leaping fish, how to put it, it's a bit hard to describe. Most of them are gym level, with an occasional professional level 1. He doesn't even have the qualifications of a Quasi-King. Is this the trump card of the Magic City's water secret realm? Zhang Yu was very confused and he didn't understand. How could a secret realm ace Pokémon be of such quality? Could it be the Tang family? Is the relationship between my mom and the Tang family not as good as I thought? Is the Tang family trying to pressure my mom? This shouldn't be the case. There's no reason for my mom to joke about my future. Am I really a gift for topping up my phone bill? Seeing Zhang Yu's somewhat disappointed expression, Tang Kainu walked forward and said, "What's wrong? Don't you have any favorites? These kids have good qualifications. The ones in the lead are the ones I carefully selected." Before she finished speaking, she looked at the empty seats in the front. Hey? Where did those go? Tang Kainu's face changed when she saw the empty seat in the front. Didn't I tell you that the eggs here are for me to take away? Who is it? At this moment, the gentle and elegant Tang Kainu couldn't help but feel angry. Her good friend asked her for help and the old man had also specifically instructed her to do so. Now that this kind of thing had happened, where could she put her face? This was definitely a slap in her face. When she thought of this, her face turned cold as ice in an instant. The gentle smile she had originally had disappeared without a trace, replaced by an indifferent expression. She exuded a cold aura that said keep away from strangers. She took out her cell phone and dialed a number. Seeing this, Zhang Yu also realized that something was wrong. The few signs he had seen before all had king level qualifications. It didn't make sense that the secret realm ace wouldn't be king level. However, Zhang Yu didn't say anything, as he also had something to ask of others. The other party also said that if they are not satisfied, they can choose other Pokémon, which can be said to have given Xiaoxuehua and Zhang Yu enough face. This matter still needs to be resolved by the individuals themselves. Ask the person in charge to come over. Also, check the surveillance videos so that I can see who is so bold as to take away the water-leaping fish I prepared. Tisk, Zhang Yu was shocked. It was true that an angry woman should not be provoked. The tone and manner of her speaking were completely different from before she came. Just now she was so gentle and kind, but now she was so aggressive and terrifying. At the same time, I was a little curious about Tang Kainu's identity. Isn't she a high school teacher? How come she has so much power in the secret realm? Is it because her father is a superstar? After a while, the person in charge came hurriedly, sweating profusely, wiping his sweat as he ran over. Before the person in charge could make any explanation, Tang Kainu's emotionless voice was heard, "What's going on? Explain it to me clearly." When the person in charge saw Tang Kainu's attitude, he couldn't help but feel a little uneasy. After thinking for a while, he could only helplessly say, "This is what happened. Chen Tao from the Chen family brought his children to choose Pokémon. I tried to dissuade them. I mentioned that this was reserved by the Tang family, but they didn't listen at all. You also know the strength of the Chen family, and they had obtained the approval of the alliance. I had no reason to stop them. They took those eggs away by force, and then told you to, go find him. Generally, Pokémon reserved between large families will not be taken away by other people. This is an unspoken rule. There are many Pokémon with good qualifications. At most, you just need to wait a little longer. There is no need to cause conflicts between families because of a Pokémon. It is not a legendary beast. If it is a master level, I'm sorry, this kind of Pokémon will hardly appear here. The Alliance has such a long history of breeding Pokémon that it already has a set of procedures that can roughly identify the qualifications of Pokémon. The person in charge obviously didn't want to take the blame, nor did he want to be involved in the struggle between the two major families. He secretly glanced at Tang Kainu and whispered, I heard that they are still selecting Pokémon in the shallow water area. Tang Kainu's already cold face was instantly covered with frost. Well, it's the Chen family again, looking for trouble, right? Go to the shallow water, Tang Kainu said expressionlessly. Aunt Tang, why don't you just forget it? I've already troubled you. Another conflict will have a bad impact on the Tang family. The other Pokémon here are all good. I can just pick one at random. Zhang Yu obviously didn't want Aunt Tang to get involved. If he caused a conflict between the two top families, it would definitely affect his mother, and some people in the Tang family would inevitably complain. Don't be afraid. The Tang family still has some influence in Shanghai, and there has been a grudge between the Tang family and the Chen family. This is directed at me and has nothing to do with you. Tang Kainu thought Zhang Yu was afraid and comforted him. At the same time, this conflict was also defined as a conflict between two major families. It was not for Zhang Yu's sake, and they did not want to affect Zhang Yu and Xiaohua. Hearing this and seeing Tang Kainu's obvious actions of protecting Zhang Yu and Xiaohua and wanting to stand up for him, Zhang Yu was somewhat moved. He couldn't help but sigh that the relationship between his mother and the Tang family was really solid. But why is it different from the novel? Normally, when the protagonist is bullied and slapped in the face, the forces behind the protagonist are usually indifferent like a grandson. You can hit me as much as you want and I will just stand by and watch, Zhang Yu complained in his heart. Without waiting for Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan to say anything, Tang Kainu left the incubation room angrily. Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan looked at each other, and Tang Yuxuan shrugged. The two had no choice but to follow. In the shallow water area, only two figures were seen shuttling back and forth. Son, if you do this, you will offend the Tang family too much. I'm afraid there will be problems. The Chen and Tang families have never been in harmony and have constant conflicts. What's the big deal if they offend each other to death? A young voice came. If it weren't for the Tang family, the guardian of the water secret realm should be from the Chen family. After this incident, the Chen and Tang families would have torn their faces apart long ago, not to mention the previous conflicts. And we have the authorization of the alliance. What reason does the Tang family have to take back the Pokémon? If they dare to cause trouble, that's even better. I will wait for them here. The guardian of the water secret realm will have to be replaced in 5 years. If we work hard, we may be able to replace him earlier. Next time, our Chen family must take this spot. I hope so. The current guardian of the water secret realm has improved a lot according to gossip. Just as the two were plotting something, several figures suddenly appeared in the shallow water. The Pokémon around them saw that the newcomers were aggressive and tried to avoid them in panic. The Pokémon here had long been accustomed to the comfortable environment of eating and sleeping, and most of them were gentle and rarely fought. Chapter 54. Seeing the person coming, Chen Tao and his son Chen Jun seemed to know the other party's purpose. They did not leave, but watched the other party's arrival with interest. Seeing the playful smiles on the two men's faces, Tang Kainu was furious. They were too arrogant. What do you mean? You took away the Pokémon I reserved without even saying hello. Don't you think highly of my Tang family? Tang Kainu said coldly. Reservation? What reservation? This is the alliance, not your Tang family's one-man show. Do you have the alliance's permission? We have a lot, ma'am. Chen Tao was about to speak when his son spoke first. Chen Jun took out the alliance's permission and placed it in front of Tang Kainu, shaking it quickly. Do you see it? Hearing the man's tone of teasing, Tang Kainu, Zhang Yu and the other two turned pale, and Tang Yuxuan angrily shouted, "Keep your mouth clean." Tang Kainyu calmly took out the alliance license and shook it. There was no way she would let the Tang family take the blame. It was too big a burden for them to have the final say. Oh, you're so cute when you're angry. I'll return an egg to you when we go back. Don't cry out of grievance. Ha 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 ha. However, Chen Jun ignored Tang Kainyu. Instead, he became even more presumptuous and teased Tang Yuxuan unscrupulously. He knew that no one from any family would be stupid enough to take a Pokémon without the League's permission. Chen Tao frowned, obviously not liking his son's behavior, but he could only watch. As his son, he couldn't possibly ruin his son's show. Alas, we can only blame his mother for doting on him too much. Relying on the Chen family's status, he behaves lawless. If it weren't for his outstanding talent as a trainer, he would have been punished countless times. Seeing the mother and daughter of the Tang family being teased in this way, Zhang Yu knew that as the only male among the three, he had to stand up. He absolutely could not just watch the two of them being teased in this way. If he had retreated in silence, his relationship with the Tang family would probably have been severed after this incident. Moreover, this person was his mother's good friend, who had come to the water secret realm for him. It was unreasonable for him to just sit there and watch. Ugh! Ugh! Why does it smell like dog shit? Who ate shit? Zhang Yu covered his nose and kept fanning his hands in front of his eyes. Chen Jun paused and squinted at Zhang Yu. Who are you? Do you have the right to speak here? Zhang Yu ignored Chen Jun, but asked Tang Kainyu curiously, Auntie Tang, why does the alliance have special habits? Tang Kainyu looked at Zhang Yu with a puzzled look on her face. Zhang Yu thought seriously, we don't have the habit of mad dogs interrupting us. Phew! Tang Kainyu and Tang Yuxuan couldn't help but burst out laughing. Chen Jun's face darkened, he laughed in anger, staring at Zhang Yu and asked, which family are you from? You dare to interfere in the conflict between the Tang and Chen families by yourself. You can't be an unknown person, so Chen Jun is very careful, fearing that he might provoke someone he shouldn't. Tang Kainyu stepped forward and blocked Chen Jun's gaze from looking at Zhang Yu. She knew that Zhang Yu was standing up for her and she couldn't help but feel good about him. Xiaoshihua really has a good son, but it is impossible to let Chen Jun target Zhang Yu. He is too young and cannot withstand the anger of the Chen family. Tang Kainyu coughed, suppressed her smile, and said to the Chen family father and son expressionlessly, don't say those useless things. You know why I came to you. If you want to cause trouble, draw a line, and we, the Tang family, will take over. With the old man's instructions, Tang Kainyu was not afraid at all. If anyone dared to tease her and her daughter, and she didn't skin the other person alive, then all kinds of monsters and demons would be able to harm their Tang family in the future. Looking at Tang Kainyu's attitude, Chen Tao secretly said that it was not good. He and his son just wanted to discuss the Tang family, and did not really want to conflict with the Tang family. The Tang family is now in its prime. Although there is some gap from its peak, it is still a little stronger than the current Chen family. He cannot allow the Chen family and the Tang family to conflict, and he cannot be like Chen Jun who does not consider the consequences. Chen Jun is a child with moderate talent, and he will definitely have to take the blame in the end, but he cannot afford it. You really want that batch of water-leaping fish, how about this? Chen Jun didn't want to be blamed for these things, there were other people in the family who laughed at him. We are all from the younger generation, so our abilities shouldn't be that bad, right, Auntie? You can pick anyone that beats me or Shui Yu. Beautiful, Chen Tao couldn't help but shout in his heart, this child has grown up smart, he couldn't help but feel relieved. This would mean that the Chen family and the Tang family had their eyes on the same batch of Pokémon. As the Tang family's rival, Chen Jun would definitely not retreat easily. In order not to weaken the Chen family's reputation, Chen Jun decided to fight with the other party to win the ownership of the Pokémon. This would not only solve the immediate problem, but also suppress the Tang family's own prestige. He still has confidence in his son's ability, after all, he is favored by the top star in the family. Hearing this, Tang Kainyu and Tang Yuxuan frowned and instantly understood each other's thoughts. They frowned not because they were afraid of each other, but because Tang Yuxuan did not bring Pokémon with her mother today. You can't expect Tang Kainyu, who is at the gym level, to bully a rookie trainer. Even if she can put her face aside, the Tang family can't afford to lose this person. It's troublesome. It is impossible to let them retreat like this, otherwise it will be spread that the Tang family is defeated by the Chen family. No one will care about the details and will only focus on the results. The result might be that Tang Yuxuan would not dare to accept the challenge, and the Chen family would take away all the excellent water-leaping fish. This would definitely be a fatal blow to her daughter Tang Yuxuan. The Tang family is not a monolithic entity, and competition within the big family is very fierce. Xian didn't bring her Pokémon, so you and I will take care of it today, Tang Kainyu said slowly to Chen Tao. Pokémon is for children to choose. It has nothing to do with us adults. It's better to leave these things to children. Chen Tao knew the opponent's strength and obviously didn't want to confront him head-on, so he kicked the ball back. It's tricky and troublesome. Tang Kainyu couldn't help but look at Zhang Yu, and then sighed. I'm really anxious. How can this kid be the opponent's opponent? Zhang Yu's family was only slightly better than that of a petty bourgeoisie, and Pokémon could never compare to such a large family. It was Zhang Yu's profound knowledge that gave her the illusion. Zhang Yu knew that it was time for him to put out the fire again. As expected, this Pokémon was not obtained for free. But it was also good to show some strength to the Tang family. He also understood what Tang Kainyu was thinking. Ordinary people were not qualified to compare with the big families. What was considered a good thing by ordinary people might not even be considered a good thing by the big families. Aunt Tang, leave it to me, no problem. Zhang Yu took the initiative to step forward. He had been unhappy for a long time. The leaping fish that I had been looking forward to for so long was snatched away by someone. I'm going to smash my head against yours. Tang Kainyu looked at him with some gratitude. She knew that she owed Zhang Yu a big favor. At least Tang Yuxuan didn't have to bear the blame. Tang Yuxuan also knew that Zhang Yu stood up for her, and she couldn't help but feel a little moved. She clenched her fists, and her cold face seemed to melt a little. Come on. Zhang Yu felt a little puzzled when he saw the expressions of the two people. What was going on? Chapter 55. Although Chen Jun didn't know Zhang Yu's identity, he couldn't lose his momentum. As the saying goes, it's better to lose the battle than the battle. Moreover, he hasn't lost yet. He looked Zhang Yu up and down with his nose in the air. You? Promise me first that you won't cry and don't look for your mother if you lose later. Zhang Yu couldn't help but feel speechless. Is there something wrong with this world? Why are there so many foul-mouthed guys? They don't even indulge each other with their words. If you want to fight, fight. If you don't want to roll over, eat shit. Hearing this, Chen Jun's face darkened and he didn't say much, but he had already thought of how to taunt Zhang Yu after winning, so he took out the Pokeball and threw it into the air. Then a bad frog appeared. Pokémon, bad frog. Attributes, poison fighting. Gender female. Features, poisonous hands. Level, 30. Qualification, king level. Moves, poison needle, mud throwing, scare, provoke, flatter, kick down, venom shock, bluff, shoot down, surprise attack, high five surprise attack, feint, vacuum wave, bullet fist, quick defense. Frog is a dark blue Pokémon. It has yellow eyes. It has orange expandable pouches on its cheeks and wide, flat teeth. It has white stripes around its chest. It has poison sacs on its cheeks. It is popular because of its strange call and funny appearance. The moment he saw the bad frog, Zhang Yu couldn't believe his eyes, he even widened his eyes and rubbed them in disbelief. He had fought so many battles, but he had never had an attribute advantage. Although this time it was not a big advantage, he was already very satisfied. The burning bug resists fighting type, and the damage caused by poison type to the burning bug is just normal. Although the opponent has 4 times the insect resistance, to be honest, the burning bug rarely uses insect skills in the battle. The burning bug's insect skills only play an auxiliary role. For example, insect resistance reduces special attack, insect bites eat the opponent's berries, insect chirps reduce the opponent's special defense, silk spinning slows down, butterfly dance increases ability, and anger powder is similar to look at me, so Zhang Yu is generally used as an auxiliary. The most important thing is that the opponent has a 4-fold weak superpower, and the burning bug happens to have a powerful superpower move the mind hammer. He doesn't know how to lose this game, so he might as well play with his eyes closed. However, he was a little confused. In his impression, Frog was not a very strong Pokémon. Even its evolved form, Toxicanthus, was not particularly strong, with a race stat of less than 500. Would a person from a big family choose this Pokémon as their starting Pokémon? There are many better choices than this. Well, if you say that this bad frog is fine, he doesn't believe it. The opponent's characteristic is Poison Hand. Using contact moves has a chance to poison the opponent. It is obvious that he is a close combat, so you can't let him get close to you easily. Moreover, there was something wrong with the opponent's skills. There were too many preemptive moves, including Surprise Attack, High Five Surprise Attack, Feint Attack, Vacuum Wave, Bullet Punch, and Quick Defense. Among the 15 moves, 2/5 were preemptive moves. In the game, moves with higher priority will definitely hit first, but in reality, he doesn't quite understand the priority moves in this world, so will they definitely hit? Leave it to you, Burning Bug. The moment Chen Jun saw the Burning Bug, his expression immediately tensed up. The first Pokémon, the Burning Bug? Who in their right mind would choose it? The other party was with the Tang family, and was obviously an elite among the elites. There must be something wrong with this Burning Bug. Chen Jun couldn't help but squint his eyes. Could it be that he had a special understanding of certain Pokémon like me? The person in charge behind him was very considerate and ran to the middle of the two Pokémon to act as a referee. He was also very curious about the duel between the two obviously abnormal Pokémon. Incinerator and Frog, get ready, the game begins. Zhang Yu still remembered that in the last battle with Stoddle, the opponent used a preemptive move at an extremely fast speed and he had no time to react. When he saw that Frog would use a high five to launch a surprise attack, he knew what the opponent was planning. However, Stoddle's first move is not a contact move, while high five is a contact move. That is to say, the opponent's speed should not be as fast as Stoddle's first move. If the move is sure to hit, and high five is not a skill of this series and its power is not high, you can completely take this move to slow down the opponent and create a distance between you and him, not giving him a chance to get close. The Burning Worm spins silk to wrap itself. As for why I didn't choose the Energy Flame attack to increase my speed, it's because the Energy Flame attack requires a period of energy storage, while spinning silk is the instinct of the insect system and is faster. The charged flame attack can only increase the speed by 1 level. He is afraid that the Burning Bug's speed cannot create a significant gap with the opponent. Although the Burning Bug has successfully crossed the novice period and reached the ordinary level of 22 after defeating the Suction Cup Golem and Ares Prince Wave, it is still far behind the level 30 Bad Frog. Bad Frog, High Five Surprise Attack. Sure enough, the opponent used a High Five Surprise Attack, but when Zhang Yu saw its speed, he was shocked. The speed was so fast, too fast. With only a shadow left, the opponent had already approached the Burning Bug and caused damage to it. The Burning Bug that was hit did not have any expression, but just paused. As expected, its silk spitting was interrupted, and the Burning Bug also went into a cowering state. How could it be so fast? It's outrageous. In this situation, no skill can be faster than the High Five attack. Even Stoddle's water jet was no match for the High Five attack. Chen Jun frowned when he saw the Burning Bug's move. He first used the spinning silk to wrap himself up. Did he predict the Bad Frog's move or did he have a lot of experience fighting against fighting types? He was indeed not an ordinary person. Bad Frog, provocation. The Bad Frog took a step back, jumped around, waved his hands, showed a sarcastic expression, and even stuck out his tongue. Zhang Yu's heart skipped a beat. The man opposite him was so strong that he did not seize this opportunity to use damaging moves on the Burning Bug. Instead, he chose to provoke the frog, preventing it from using non-damaging moves and making it unable to use silk to distance itself from it. The frog could only fight head-on with the Bad Frog, and the other party understood his idea. Burning Bug, Mind Hammer. Zhang Yu was not worried. Although the opponent's superpower was 4 times weaker, the Burning Bug's superpower was also very strong. He was not at all at risk in a head-on collision. He quickly recovered from his cowering state, and the Burning Bug's head quickly gathered superpower energy. However, before he could feel relieved, Zhang Yu couldn't help but shrink his pupils when he heard the opponent's order. Bad Frog, Raid. The Bad Frog took a step back with its right leg, crossed its hands into an X shape to protect its head, exerted force with its left leg, and instantly rushed towards the Burning Bug, dispersing the super energy gathered by the Burning Bug. The Burning Bug couldn't help but take a step back, and then the Bad Frog followed the Burning Bug and quickly stretched out its left hand to stab the Burning Bug. The Burning Bug that was hit showed a painful expression. Raid is also a preemptive move, but it can only be used when the opponent uses an attack move, which means that the bad frog will release the move before the burning bug. You have to know that in reality, using moves requires gathering energy, which means that it takes a period of casting time. As expected, the mental hammer was interrupted again. The opponent approaches by surprise with a high five, then provokes the burning bug and forces it to use an attacking move, and then makes a surprise attack to interrupt the burning bug's move. Hiss! Zhang Yu took a breath of cold air. He suddenly had a bad feeling. The burning bug had completely followed the opponent's rhythm and had no ability to fight back. For the first time, he felt the difficulty of the preemptive move. It was completely different from the turn-based game where you hit me and I hit you. Once the preemptive skill hits, the follow-up is like a combo, leaving you no chance to fight back. Chapter 56. It's so disgusting. Every time I use a move, it will be interrupted. This feeling of being unable to use one's strength makes everyone watching the fight feel uncomfortable. Tang Kainu and Tang Yuxuan also saw through each other's tactics, and obviously did not expect the other party to be so strong. If Zhang Yu didn't find the flaw and interrupt the opponent's rhythm, he would probably be defeated soon. However, they were a little surprised at the burning insect's ability to withstand attacks. It seemed that the opponent's 2 attacks only caused minor injuries. Tang Yuxuan was a little worried about Zhang Yu, and asked with pursed lips, "Mom, why does the bad frog always attack before the burning bug?" Bad frog used priority moves in its 2 attacks. This is an effect brought about by a characteristic of the move. Each move has a priority. For example, a move with a priority of 1 will be released faster than a move with a priority of 0. In other words, the higher the priority, the faster the move is released, Tang Kainu explained. Then doesn't it mean that there is no way to deal with moves with high priority, just like this bad frog has been using moves with high priority after taking the initiative? Tang Yuxuan was a little shocked that there was such a powerful move. Not really. These moves will indeed give you a big advantage after taking the initiative, but the moves with high priority are of average power. A few are quite powerful, and there are other requirements for the use of some moves. Secondly, the use of high priority moves is not without cost. The same move cannot be used continuously, otherwise the side effects will be too great. High priority moves essentially consume a lot of physical strength and activate various cells in the body, making them highly active. They stimulate huge energy in an instant and are not suitable for protracted battles. Continuous use of high priority moves will have great side effects. It depends on whether Zhang Yu can find these problems, but it's difficult unless he has a deep understanding of priorities. Tang Kainu looked at Zhang Yu and sighed helplessly. It really didn't work. It's not Zhang Yu's fault that he is too weak, it's just that the opponent is too strong and has a unique understanding of priorities. You must know that high school students cannot access this knowledge of priorities, and after entering college, few people will formulate a battle plan based on priorities. Zhang Yu also knew that he had to interrupt the opponent's rhythm, otherwise no matter what moves the burning bug used, it would be interrupted by the opponent. To be honest, relying on his master-level qualifications of the burning bug, he was indeed a little bit arrogant. He thought he would be invincible, but he did not expect to be suppressed by the opponent's routine. Whose subordinates are so brave? Although he didn't know how the priority move worked in reality, it didn't stop Zhang Yu from finding a way to crack it. If it was a Pokémon with other attributes, it would be difficult to solve, but Infernape is a fire-type Pokémon with a body of flames. The opponent's 2 priority moves, Vacuum Wave and Bullet Punch, were useless. One was a fighting move, and the other was a steel move, and both were resisted by the burning bug. Bullet Fist is not a skill of this system, and the damage is very low. You can choose to take it head-on, but you don't know whether the opponent's surprise attack can be used continuously, so you should drag out the time of provocation first. Burning Bug, Spitting Flames. Bad Frog, Bullet Fist. Sure enough, the flame jet of the burning bug was interrupted again. Is the preemptive move just 1 step faster than the ordinary move? Zhang Yu touched his chin, but it doesn't matter. The burning bug is resistant to steel. The damage of the bullet punch itself is low and can be ignored. He will continue to delay time. This provocation is really annoying. Burning bug, keep on spitting flames. Bad frog, use flattery. Zhang Yu and Chen Jun were suddenly stunned after hearing each other's instructions. Chen Jun's idea is to use Puff on incandescent Pokémon to confuse it. This will help alleviate the problem of frog consuming a lot of physical strength when using priority moves, resulting in uncoordinated attack connections. Although it will increase the opponent's special attack, incandescent Pokémon is a physical attack Pokémon, so he is not worried at all. But after hearing the other party's order, I felt that the other party would not be a fool. Your burning insect was interrupted by the bad frog once, and you dare to do it again? Are you seriously ill? Zhang Yu's idea is to use high-powered moves to force the opponent to use priority skills to interrupt the burning worms and buy time. The damage caused by the opponent's vacuum bombs and bullet punches to the burning worms can be ignored. If the opponent uses poison-type moves, Zhang Yu will have a headache, because not only will the damage be high, but he may also be poisoned. After hearing the opponent's instructions, his first thought was that this guy is sick. He is very clear about the special attack ability of the burning bug, and you even upgraded it by 1 level for me. How can you be so nice? While the two were stunned, the bad frog had already used puff on the burning bug. When the burning bug was gathering fire energy, a mysterious power suddenly appeared in its body, and it felt warm all over. The fire power gathered more fiercely, and then a column of fire that could cover the huge body of the burning bug sprayed out and directly hit the bad frog that was close to it. It seems that the goddess of luck is standing next to the burning worm, and the burning worm did not attack itself after being confused. The burning bug was suppressed just now and didn't use any moves, but after it sprayed fire, the whole place fell silent. When Chen Jun saw the big and thick jet of flame passing through the bad frog, his face darkened and he thought to himself, oh no! Even if the special attack of the burning bug is increased by 1 level, it shouldn't be so outrageous. Is this guy mentally ill? Not only did you choose burning bug as your initial Pokémon, you also trained it in the direction of special attack. Who taught you that? Tell me about it. I want to see whose subordinates are so brave. Mom, isn't Incinerator a physical attack Pokémon? Did I remember it wrong? Seeing Incinerator's outrageous jet of flame, Tang Yuxuan began to doubt what she had learned. She had come into contact with many young generations of large families, and many of them used fire-type Pokémon, but such a powerful jet of flame, she had never seen one. This Incinerator has such great aptitude. No wonder Zhang Yu chose Incinerator as its initial Pokémon. Although its previous moves were interrupted by the opponent, judging from its use and control of energy, well. Tang Kainyu did not answer her daughter's words. Instead, she was thinking that if Incinerator was so outrageous now, what would happen when it evolved into Vulcan Moth? She couldn't imagine it. Chen Tao was terribly gloomy. The situation was originally going well, but the sudden change made him unable to come back to his senses. As expected, the opponent was also from a big family, with such powerful burning insects. However, when he thought of the outcome of the battle, he felt a little chilly. Waves of purple-black energy from the pillar of fire appeared in front of the bad frog. This energy tried to resist the power of the flames, but unfortunately it was gradually shattered by the flame energy. As expected, the bad frog was knocked away by the jet of flames and fell in front of Chen Jun. Perhaps it was because of the poison energy, or maybe it was the tenacious willpower of the frog, but it slowly got up from the ground, then knelt on one knee, staggered to its feet, looked at the Incinerator angrily and yelled, full of unwillingness. It had a huge advantage, but because of the trainer's mistake in command, it ruined the good situation. Frog! Frog! The battle was really full of surprises. Zhang Yu couldn't help but sigh. He had wanted to break the opponent's rhythm through other means, but he didn't expect that the unexpected orders from both sides broke the situation, and this attack seemed to hit the vital point. With the level advantage of the bad frog, he believed that it would take at least 3 jets of flames to defeat the opponent. Everyone knows that the winner has been decided and the time for provocation has come. What kind of damage can the bad frog in its current state cause to the burning bug? At the beginning, the burning bug was suppressed, but it did not suffer any fatal injuries and its condition remained good. Perhaps they were still counting on the burning bug to make a comeback in its chaotic state, but unfortunately only Zhang Yu knew about the burning bug's superpower talent. In this world, superpowers have a good resistance to negative states. Seeing that the other party still had a glimmer of hope, Zhang Yu cruelly shattered it. Burning worm, morning light. It was clearly a warm morning light, but it looked so cold in the eyes of Chen Tao and Chen Jun. Burn the bug, solve it. Zhang Yu did not issue any orders, letting the burning insect make the decision on its own. Another jet of flame condensed in front of everyone. This time, the bad frog never stood up again. Chen Jun didn't say anything. No matter what the loser said, he would only bring humiliation upon himself. Zhang Yu ignored him and turned to walk towards the mother and daughter of the Tang family. Let's go. Fish jumping out of the water. Tang Yuxuan reminded Zhang Yu. I'm not interested in the loser's things, Zhang Yu said expressionlessly. Tang Qingyu's lips curled up slightly. Tang Yuxuan's eyes lit up when she looked at Zhang Yu. Chapter 57. Zhang Yu had an expressionless face, but his heart was already bleeding at this moment. My dear Shui Yu, Daddy is sorry for you. Can Zhang Yu take the leaping fish? Yes, of course. If he does, the consequence of taking it is that the image he has worked so hard to build in front of the Tang mother and daughter will be greatly damaged. Since he is on the Tang family's side, he must completely suppress the Chen family and let the Tang family see his attitude. He likes the water-leaping fish very much. He chooses the water-leaping fish to pass the sapphire and emerald levels. This generation of water master is very useful in the early stage, but this is not a game after all, and he needs to maximize his benefits. When he saw the conflict between the Tang family and the Chen family, he knew that this was an opportunity. Xiaohua's relationship with the Tang family was of no use to Zhang Yu. Only his relationship with the Tang family belonged to him. Both mother and son had this kind of relationship with the Tang family, which further strengthened the relationship between the two sides. Zhang Yu lacks channels to contact the alliance, channels for resources, and channels to become a strong man. After coming to this world, through constant battles, he discovered that the path to becoming strong is not as simple as he thought. He lacks a lot of things that his mother cannot give him, and he can only fight for them himself. This was also the choice he made after careful consideration. Here he had the king-level qualifications of the ink seahorse, the ugliest fish, the magi carp, and the drago knight, which were enough for him to get through the early stage, but the water leap fish was more suitable for him. In the subsequent college cup, if Zhang Yu gets a place, and then looking at the relationship between him and the Tang family, will other colleges and universities increase their bargaining chips? He thinks it is possible, maybe not much, but aren't resources accumulated bit by bit? Zhang Yu has Song Qingye behind him, but he has already left the alliance. He doesn't believe that a gym-level trainer can grow into a quasi-champion level trainer after leaving the alliance without the support of an organization. It simply requires too many resources. My mother said that Song Qingye had a very good relationship with their family, but that was the Song Qingye before. My mother didn't even know the true strength of Song Qingye now, and whether Song Qingye was still the same Song Qingye before. He didn't dare to bet on a quasi-champion level trainer who had left the league. He didn't know Song Qingye, and from Song Qingye's style of doing things, Zhang Yu felt that he was extremely unreliable. He will contact Song Qingye, but all eggs should never be put in one basket. At least now he has not thought of abandoning the light and joining the dark. His mother is in the alliance, his friends are in the alliance, and everything he has is in the alliance. He was also gambling. Because the Tang family lost the Marapi, the big family had the dignity of the big family. It was impossible for the Tang family not to compensate. Maybe it would be another king-level Pokémon, or maybe it would be a better Marapi, but it could not be worse. The big family could not afford to lose face. No matter how you looked at it, he did not lose. At the same time, he was filled with a sense of crisis and he remembered what the principal had said to him at that time. Your burning bug is very strong. Many people have noticed its uniqueness. You have to pay attention. No one will pay attention to the dead champion anymore. Only he knew that the Pokémon of the first team in the future must all be of elite level, or perhaps even higher. Once he showed the strength of these Pokémon in front of others, how could the child of a Pokémon doctor have 6 elite level Pokémon, or even Pokémon with semi-champion or champion qualifications? He didn't know whether his mother's identity could make other people give up their thoughts about him, but he felt that he couldn't do that with his identity as a Pokémon doctor. This was why he needed a powerful family behind him, at least to intimidate some people. When thinking about this question, Zhang Yu suddenly discovered a flaw that made him tremble all over. He could accurately judge the qualifications of Pokémon. If Daigo has a Pokémon with the quality of a champion, others will definitely say that this is definitely not Daigo. If Daigo has 6 Pokémon with the quality of a champion, others will say that's fine. The key point is that he doesn't have the status of Daigo. Daigo's family is wealthy and can continuously train Pokémon to judge their qualifications. What does he have? Nothing, but he can accurately find so many highly qualified Pokémon? Do you know what this ability means in the eyes of some people? It is an ability that is almost 100% sure to create top-level and champion-level trainers. Therefore, he had a plan in his mind. This plan could not solve all the problems, but it could solve many problems. To implement this plan, he had to rely on powerful forces. After having detailed discussions with his mother, the Tang family, with which he had a good relationship, was undoubtedly the best choice. The three of them left the shallow water area. Tang Yuxuan slightly opened her sexy red lips, patted her chest lightly, and said with some relief, "It was a close call." Fortunately, the other party made a mistake in command. Zhang Yu, who was slightly dazed, did not make any explanation after hearing her words. He knew that no matter what the opponent did, he could not defeat the burning bug. It seemed that the initiative was in the opponent's hands, and the burning bug had no power to fight back. He attacked as fiercely as a tiger, and the damage was 443. If it was a Pokémon of other attributes, Zhang Yu would still have a headache, but fire-type Pokémon are very effective against Pokémon that mainly rely on physical attacks. What are the characteristics of the burning bug? A body of flame. A bad frog that mainly attacks with physical attacks will be directly destroyed if it is burned by the body of flame. What's more, many of the opponent's first moves are not of this type, and some are resisted by the burning bug. The burning bug can recover in one morning light, and then you can fight slowly. Tang Qinyu felt very happy when she saw that Zhang Yu had vented their anger for them. The ice on her face gradually melted and she revealed a gentle smile. She was very satisfied with Zhang Yu's performance. She had been testing Zhang Yu intentionally or unintentionally just now. He was courageous, responsible, and capable at a young age. It could be said that he was impeccable. He was also the child of her best friend. The more she watched him, the more satisfied she was. If there is a chance, Shuhua can take Zhang Yu to see the old man. The old man has been nagging for a long time about wanting to see Shuhua's child. However, the water leap fish prepared for Zhang Yu was taken away by the other party, which made her feel embarrassed. She also knew that the water leap fish was more suitable for Zhang Yu than any Pokémon in the secret realm. She frowned and took Zhang Yu to the water leap fish living area first. She was afraid that the water leap fish in the living area could not meet Zhang Yu's requirements. "Let's go. I'll take you to the water leaping fish habitat. There are several juvenile water leaping fish there." Coincidentally, the living area of the water leaping fish is near the shallow water area, and the three of them arrived here in a short while. Seeing the living environment of the water leaping fish, Zhang Yu couldn't help but wonder if this was the treatment for the ace of the secret realm. The lake water is crystal clear, like a huge sapphire, reflecting the color of the sky and the surrounding scenery. The green trees and flowers by the lake are reflected in the water, forming a beautiful picture. Occasionally, a few jumping fish shuttle in the water, causing ripples. There were even 3 water leaping fish that were not afraid of strangers. They ran up to the 3 people, raised their heads and stared blankly at the 3 uninvited guests. Their movements seemed a bit clumsy. The water leaping fish didn't look very smart to begin with, so this movement made them look a bit more naive. The 3 little ones looked at each other curiously, as if wondering why the other looked different from them. "Damn, so cute, it's my girlish heart." Zhang Yu couldn't help but squat down and pick up one of the water leaping fish. The slippery touch and the wet body, it's a real water leaping fish, I want to rub it. The Shuiyu, who was held in the air by Zhang Yu, was already feeling a little uncomfortable. This human actually dared to play with its body at will. "I can tolerate this, but I can't." The water leaping fish waved its claws, and then its 4 small claws kept sliding in arcs in the air, and its body began to twist back and forth. Suddenly, the water leaping fish stopped moving, looked at Zhang Yu, and opened its mouth. Zhang Yu suddenly had a bad feeling. Sure enough, a stream of water spurted out from the mouth of the leaping fish and directly hit Zhang Yu's cold face. Zhang Yu was caught off guard and loosened his grip, and the Shuiyu successfully escaped from Zhang Yu's clutches. After landing, he trotted a few steps, looked back at Zhang Yu, stuck out his tongue, jumped up, and jumped into the water with a splash, revealing 2 small eyes on the surface of the lake and looking at Zhang Yu. The other 2 little ones saw their companions' actions, jumped into the water quickly, and imitated their companions' actions. In this way, the 3 little ones looked at the 3 people cautiously in the lake. Poo Zhang Yu shook his head, cleaned the water off his face, pursed his lips, imported water. The 2 girls smiled slightly. Then Zhang Yu came to the lake and looked at the 3 little ones. They didn't seem too smart, but their qualifications were not low, they were at professional level. Then he looked at the other leaping fish in the lake. There was a Quasi King and the others were all gym level. Why is there another one in the mud at the bottom of the lake? It's of average caliber. Okay, you can just stay there. Zhang Yu was a little disappointed, but it was normal. These were hatched from eggs that were not chosen, so it was reasonable. As if she could see Zhang Yu's disappointment, Tang Kainyu thought about it and decided to take him to that place to take a look. Wait a minute, I'll make a phone call, Tang Kainyu said to the two of them. Chapter 58. Hey, Dad, something happened just now. It's like this. Tang Kainyu walked to the side, where Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan couldn't hear her. Yes, the few water-leaping fish prepared for Xiao were snatched away by the Chen family. If it weren't for Xiao, your granddaughter would have to take the blame. No one knows about that one, so I want to take Xiao in to try it out. Yeah, I understand. I'll take him there now. After finishing the call, Tang Kainyu walked up to the two of them and said to Zhang Yu embarrassedly, I didn't expect this to happen today, but don't worry, Auntie will take you to a place later, but you have to wait a while, the procedures will take some time, and the approval should be available today, let's go get Suingsuan's Pokémon first. Zhang Yu felt relieved when he heard Tang Kainyu's words. Although he didn't know where to go, he heard that it still needed approval, so it probably wasn't an easy place to go. Now that he had found his Pokémon, maybe its qualifications would be better than the ones just now, otherwise he wouldn't have gone to other places. He just didn't know which one it would be. Sure enough, there is a reward only if you pay. Although the pay comes with risks, his originally disappointed and depressed mood has improved a lot. He just hopes that this fucked up world will leave him alone. He was a little curious about what Tang Yuxuan's Pokémon was and why he had to go to a separate place to get it. The two followed Tang Kainyu to a special breeding room. It was very large, but there were no Pokémon. The three of them continued to go deeper until they came to a room. Zhang Yu found that there was only a ugly op-ed fish in the room. Pokémon, ugly fish. Attribute, water. Gender female. Features, easy to swim. Level, 5. Qualification, King of Heaven. Moves. The super talented ugly fish seems to be no different from the super talented ugly fish seen before, except that its body is a little bigger. This one is not a shiny ugly fish either. Everything about it seems normal, but it is special everywhere. Is there anything else special? He couldn't help but feel curious. As if she could see the doubts in Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan's hearts, Tang Kainyu explained, the origin of this ugly fish is different from the previous ones. The father of this ugly fish is the overlord Min Xiao who lives in the secret water realm. The children of the dominant Pokémon in the water realm are usually not given to humans. Their children will inherit their parents' status in the tribe. This clownfish wasn't supposed to be here, but his father was defeated by another Pokémon. His father was afraid that the other Pokémon would clean up the tribe, so he gave the child to us. Zhang Yu suddenly realized that Overlord-level Pokémon are usually the most powerful Pokémon in a certain area. They are much stronger than ordinary Pokémon, and their offspring are also more qualified than other Pokémon. This clownfish is only of the elite level, but if its father is a dominant level Pokémon, then it may be stronger than other clownfish of the elite level. Even though they are all elite level, there are still gaps between elite levels. No wonder they have to be so careful. The children of Overlord-level Pokémon are as rare as quasi-gods. They are the top existences among Pokémon of the same species and will attract many people to fight for them. It is estimated that the Tang family spent a lot of money to obtain the ownership of this Pokémon. After all, the Water Secret Realm is not controlled solely by the Tang family. There are still many people eyeing this piece of fat meat, just like the Chen family just now. If they can guard the Water Secret Realm, then there will be many conveniences and a lot of room for operation in certain aspects. After seeing the child of the dominant level Melodic, he had some guesses about where he would go later. It shouldn't be the child of a dominant level Pokémon. There is only one dominant level Pokémon in a region. He doesn't know how many there are in the Water Secret Realm, but there definitely won't be too many. A situation like Clownfish is too rare. If the dominant Melodic was defeated by other Pokémon, that Pokémon must be extremely strong. Hearing her mother's words, Tang Yuxuan quickly ran to the lake inside the house, looked at the motionless Chaochu fish with satisfaction in her eyes, picked up the prepared high-end ball, and threw it at the Chaochu fish. A red light flashed, and the Chaochu fish was successfully subdued without any resistance. Which Pokémon can defeat the dominant Melodic? Tang Yuxuan asked curiously after putting away the advanced ball. Beautiful. He also wanted to ask this question. Zhang Yu also looked at Tang Kainyu curiously. This Pokémon has some relationship with Zhang Yu, Tang Kainyu did not say directly, but joked with a smile. Zhang Yu was confused. What was going on? I just got here. How could Pokémon have anything to do with me? Tang Yuxuan tilted her head, looking confused and with a cute expression. Swampert. Tang Yuxuan's eyes suddenly lit up and she exclaimed. Tang Kainyu smiled and nodded. What the hell? Zundu is fake. Zhang Yu's eyes lit up, but then he was a little disappointed. It was not certain whether this giant Swampert had a child. Even if it did, it might not be given to him. It was difficult to operate here. One was the dominant Pokémon, and the other was the Alliance. The Alliance has extremely strict control over quasi-gods. This Overlord-level Pokémon is in no way inferior to a quasi-god. After all, it is already considered the top individual in a race. He would not believe that the top Pokémon of the race was not as powerful as the quasi-god. Although the quasi-god was strong, he was not invincible, so the children of the Overlord-level Pokémon would definitely be valued by the Alliance. It's not certain how strong its children are, but it's certain that they are stronger than other children of the same species. I want them. I'm so greedy. After getting the ugly fish, Tang Kainyu took Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan for a stroll in the secret realm. Then, a ding sound was heard, which touched the hearts of the three. Tang Kainyu took out her phone and saw the message with a satisfied smile. She said to the two of them, let's go. I'll show you the real secret realm of the water system. After going through layers of tests, the three of them came to a place far away from the entrance. Looking at the endless green land, Zhang Yu's mood couldn't help but calm down. No matter which Pokémon he got, he would make a profit this time. After all, Pokémon with king-level qualifications are extremely rare. Come on, follow me and don't do anything strange. Wild Pokémon may regard certain actions as provocations or attacks, Tang Kainyu explained to the two while walking in front. Real secret realms are home to many wild Pokémon. They have abundant natural resources and a small number of Pokémon, so the Pokémon here are much stronger than those outside. This is also the reason why secret realms are important. After communication, the Alliance has reached an agreement with the Pokémon here. The Alliance will give the Pokémon here enough energy cubes and protect their safety, ensuring that their lives are not disturbed while exploring the secret resources. They need to give the Alliance some cubs every once in a while. So the Alliance established some defense lines on the periphery, as well as some culture rooms and laboratories. Hey? Such a simple request? Zhang Yu didn't understand. In his opinion, the request of wild Pokémon was the same as no request at all. The Alliance had almost no cost and owned the entire secret realm. It feels like the Alliance didn't pay any price, Tang Yuxuan asked curiously. Zhang Yu gave a thumbs up in his heart and pricked up his ears at the same time. Energy cubes are common things to us, but they are treasures in the eyes of wild Pokémon. Even if they eat 10 fruits, it may not be as good as one high-level energy cube. That's our human advantage. Chapter 59. The three of them walked for a long time, passing by lakes of all sizes. They didn't see many Pokémon, but they did find a group of big clawed crabs and giant clawed crabs. Zhang Yu drooled when he saw them. He hadn't eaten crabs for a long time. The claws of these crabs were particularly large, and it felt like there was a lot of meat inside. But he was just thinking about it, he couldn't do something like eating Pokémon, except for the tail that fell off naturally from Slowpoke. He heard that Slowpoke's tail was a delicacy, so he was really curious. As they walked, the three of them came to a large lake. Occasionally, there were fish fins swimming in the lake. Suddenly, the fins disappeared, and several swamp fish jumped out of the lake and came to the shore. They looked at Zhang Yu and his group, shook their bodies, and walked away. The moment Zhang Yu saw the leaping fish in the swamp, his eyes lit up and he turned to look at Tang Kainyu. Seeing Zhang Yu's expression, she smiled. He was indeed still a child and couldn't keep his temper. We are almost at our destination. Let's follow these swamp leaping fishes. Tang Kainyu finally told the destination of this trip. Damn, you really are going to find Shuiyu. Aunt Tang, you are so beautiful. At this moment, Zhang Yu's heart finally settled down. After going around in circles, it's you, my child, Shuiyu. Dad is here again. I hope there won't be any more accidents. Dad doesn't want to pass by home without entering for 3 times. To be honest, Zhang Yu felt a little sad when he made that decision, because if the third Pokémon was a Squidward, it could solve many problems for him, save a lot of time, and give him more choices for subsequent Pokémon. Other Pokémon can also be used, but in the end they will still have to fill in for the burning bug, and the choice of subsequent Pokémon will also be limited. After walking for a while, a large number of blue Pokémon came into view. Water Leaper. Swampert, and Swampert. Before coming here, Zhang Yu had specially learned about the information of the Swampert in this world. The average height is only 1.5 m, but there are very few Swamperts here that are 1.5 m tall. There are quite a few that look about the same height as him, and a few are even taller than him. The qualifications of the Swamperts here are really outrageous. There was a huge Swampert lying on the rock in the middle of the lake. Judging from its size, it should be more than 2 meters tall. Hiss, Zhang Yu took a breath of cold air, so strong. Spirit, Swampert. Attributes, Water Ground. Gender, Male. Features, Rip Current. Level, 62. Qualification, King level. Moves. Seeing the opponent's level, Zhang Yu was a little confused. At this level, could he defeat other overlords? In his mind, Swampert, who could defeat the overlord Melodic, must be close to the peak of the king. Or is this secret realm too comfortable, and the overlord Pokémon are not as strong as those outside? Seeing the three humans coming, the giant Swampert stood up, jumped over the 7,8 m high lake surface and landed with a bang, causing a shock wave. The three people raised their hands to block the blowing dust. The three people who had just put down their hands heard a roar in their ears. Who are you? Why did you come to our territory without permission? Zhang Yu was not afraid when he heard the voice. Instead, he thought it was so cool. This deep and powerful voice, my god, I think Swampert still has his charm. Tang Kainu summoned Slowking and then walked forward. Although the Pokémon here have a relatively friendly relationship with humans, they still need to pay attention to their own safety. After all, no one can guarantee that Pokémon will never attack humans. Pokémon, Slowking. Attribute, Water Superpower. Gender, Male. Features, Slow. Level, 55. Qualification, Gym level. Moves. Hiss, a gym level Slowking, so handsome, this Slowking is so tall? It's even taller than the Swampert in front of it. In my impression, the Slowking family has always been a cute Pokémon. I saw Tang Kainu and Swampert communicating with each other, and Slowking was acting as a translator between them. Tisk, it's hard to find a job if Pokémon nowadays doesn't know multiple languages. They have no competitiveness. Just when Zhang Yu thought he was safe, he heard a voice even more angry than before. Roll. Hearing this, Zhang Yu's heart suddenly sank. Was he going to pass by his home without entering? No, he had already started wailing in his heart. However, Tang Kainu still did not give up and kept communicating with the other party. Swampert also gradually became impatient and kept roaring loudly. Slowking was obviously alert and psychic energy kept emerging around it. Seeing this scene, Zhang Yu began to worry again. Come on, how could choosing a water skipper cause so many troubles? Is Swampert so irritable? I don't know if Aunt Tang can stop this king-level Swampert. Even if she can, what about the other Swamperts? Alas, Zhang Yu sighed. It was so hard for him. It was indeed time for him to appear again. Then he walked forward. Tang Yuxuan was also worried about her mother, so she followed Zhang Yu to Tang Kainu. Swampert turned his gaze towards Zhang Yu. Tang Kainu frowned when she saw Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan coming over. She said worriedly, "Why are you here? Go back. It's okay. It was my request to choose the water-leaping fish, I can't just ignore it." Zhang Yu scratched his head with a silly expression. Alas, this child is kind-hearted. He stood up for her time and time again. Tang Kainu couldn't help but admire the child's understanding in her heart. With the arrival of the two, the Swampert, which should have become more irritable, became quiet instead, which made Tang Kainu a little confused. Aunt Tang, what's the situation now? Zhang Yu asked. Only by knowing the cause can the right remedy be prescribed. It didn't agree to give me the leaping fish I mentioned. I have already given it very generous conditions. Tang Kainu sighed and felt a little embarrassed. It was obviously just a leaping fish, but it failed again and again, which made her very embarrassed. Which one? Can I go and take a look? He was a little curious. Why was the water skipper so important? Could it really be the child of the Swampert who defeated the overlord Melodic? Can. Before Tang Kainyu could reply, Swampert roared at Zhang Yu and turned away. Seeing this, Zhang Yu followed behind the Swampert. Xiao Yu, what's going on? Tang Kainyu was confused. How come Swampert became so easy to talk to? Everything became unspeakably weird since Zhang Yu came. Zhang Yu saw green energy emerging from his hands, and explained to Tang Kainyu, Auntie, I have the power of Changpan, so Pokémon will be closer to me. There are many people in the alliance who have special abilities, so Zhang Yu is not afraid of being exposed. He lives in West City, next to the Evergreen Forest. It is normal for him to have the power of Evergreen, right? Tang Kainyu showed an expression of sudden enlightenment, and Tang Yuxuan opened her mouth and looked at Zhang Yu with shock, but the two did not say much. Solving the problem of Shui Yuiu was the most important thing. The three followed Swampert to an open space and stopped. They saw a water-leaping fish constantly hitting the rocks in the open space not far away. Chapter 60. What is it doing? Practicing collision. Tang Yuxuan was a little confused. Is this kid practicing self-sacrifice collision? Tang Kainyu guessed from the painful expression on Shui Yuiu's face. Although self-sacrifice collision may be one of Shui Yuiu's inherited moves, why would he start training so early? Zhang Yu's eyes lit up when he saw the water-leaping fish training hard. This was the water-leaping fish in his mind, hard-working, diligent, and strong. This was worthy of its terrifying arm circumference and body full of explosive power after its mega evolution. Pokémon, Water Leap Fish. Attribute, Water. Gender, Male. Features, Rip Current. Level, 5. Qualification, King Level. Moves, Impact, Shout, Water Gun, Self-Sacrifice Charge, Bite, Wide Area Defense. The inherited moves of self-sacrificing charge, biting and wide area defense are pretty good. Zhang Yu couldn't help but feel fortunate for his previous decision. This water-leaping fish occupied Zhang Yu's heart in an instant, and his mind was now full of this water-leaping fish. Can I go and see this water-leaping fish? Zhang Yu said excitedly to Swampert. Swampert hesitated for a moment, then nodded and brought Zhang Yu to the front of the water leap fish. Seeing the arrival of Zhang Yu and Swampert, Water Leap stopped practicing. With scars all over his body, he looked at the other party with a determined look, somewhat confused. These humans hope to be your trainers. Swampert explained his purpose to Aquatica. Humph, they are too weak. Shui Yuiu just snorted, glanced at Zhang Yu with disdain, and continued training. Zhang Yu's face darkened. What was going on? Was the Vibrown force fake? Why didn't the water leaper react? This shouldn't be the case. Such a strong Swampert was very friendly to him. He looked at the Swampert with some doubt. It turned out that Water Jump did not detect the aura of a strong man from him. It has always been targeting its father, and it wants to follow a trainer who can surpass its father. Can I talk to it? Swampert nodded. Zhang Yu walked forward, came in front of the Shui Yuiu, squatted down, and took out the prepared system card energy block. Sure enough, the water-leaping fish, having smelled the scent, stared motionlessly at the energy block in Zhang Yu's hand. No matter how it concealed it, Zhang Yu could see the desire in its eyes. He handed the energy cube to the water jumper and said, "Eat it. I have too much of this stuff. My Pokémon can't eat it all." Hearing this, the water-leaping fish couldn't help itself and started eating. When it took the first bite, it paused, its eyes suddenly brightened, as if it had never tasted anything so delicious. It put the rest into its mouth, licked its little paws, and puffed up its cheeks. I know you want to surpass your father, but if you rely on a trainer to surpass your father, others will say that you rely on the trainer's power, not your own strength, and they will deny your efforts, Zhang Yu suddenly said while the water leap was eating happily. For this kind of Pokémon that wants to prove itself, you have to find the right angle and lure the other party step by step. Sure enough, after hearing Zhang Yu's words, Shui Yuiu's face froze and his expression became visibly worse. But if you come with me, I will give you these energy cubes to eat every day, and you can train on your own. It has nothing to do with me at all. It's all your own hard work, and no one will complain about it. After hearing Zhang Yu's suggestion, Shui Yuiu's eyes lit up. After eating the energy cube, it clearly felt that it was different from what humans had given it before. It was much better and delicious. It definitely did not consider Zhang Yu's suggestion just for the sake of eating, but just because it wanted to become stronger. Seeing the excited look on Shui Yu's face, Zhang Yu struck while the iron was hot. He placed his hand on the wounded part of Shui Yu and used the power of Changpan to heal its wound. The water-leaping fish, feeling a surge of life force, showed a satisfied expression, moaned comfortably, and fell limply to the ground, squinting its eyes with a happy expression on its face. How about it? I can also use this ability to heal your wounds and allow you to return to training faster. Others train one day and rest one day, but you can train every day. You will grow twice as fast as others, and it won't be long before you surpass your father. I have seen you in the near future, standing at the top of the tribe, becoming another overlord, and even completing the feat that your father could not complete, conquering the secret water realm, and becoming an invincible giant swamp monster. The tempting voice reached the ears of Shui Yu. Shui Yu imagined what it would be like in the future. Its eyes were a little dazed and its mind had drifted to who knows where. When you become successful, I will find you a beautiful wife. When Shui Yu heard that Zhang Yu was going to find a wife for it, it shook its head frantically, thinking that a woman would only slow down its boxing speed. Tisk, he's still a warmonger. When you become stronger, I will find you a group of younger brothers. You will be the boss and you can go wherever you want with your younger brothers. The water-leaping fish's pupils dilated and drool began to flow from the corners of its mouth. Zhang Yu held the little paw of Shui Yu and said, "Come with me, Shui Yu, let's conquer your father together, in a manly way." Shui Yu nodded as if possessed by a ghost, a little dazed, as if he had drunk fake wine. Seeing the water-jump fish nod, Zhang Yu shouted in his heart, "Beautiful." Then he picked up the water-jump fish and came to the giant Swampert. "It has agreed to go with me." "I disagree." Hearing what Swampert said, Zhang Yu had a question mark on his face. "You don't agree? If you don't agree, why did you bring me here? Who are you?" Just as Zhang Yu was communicating with the other party, a loud noise interrupted the communication between the two. Before Zhang Yu could turn around, he felt the sky darken. He looked back. A blue body? He raised his head, and his pupil shrank. He saw giant Swampert standing behind him, looking down at him. Spirit, Swampert. Attributes, water ground. Gender, male. Features, rip current. Level, 68. Qualification, king level. Moves. Seeing the level of this giant Swampert, Zhang Yu couldn't help but take a breath. 68. Close to the peak of the king. The water-leaping fish in his arms saw the person coming and woke up Dad from his fantasy. "Hey?" Zhang Yu was confused. "Dad? So the giant Swampert just now was not your dad, then why is it refusing and waiting with me? Human, why did you take my child away?" The giant Swampert roared at Zhang Yu. Because of the power of Changpan, the other party did not attack him. Zhang Yu hurriedly explained the purpose of his coming here, and at the same time expressed that the water-leaping fish was willing to leave with him. "I disagree. You can't make it stronger. With me, it will become as strong as me." He thought the other party would be more talkative, but he didn't expect that he would reject him anyway. Zhang Yu sighed. It seemed that this was the only way he could do it. "Swampert, take me to a deserted place later. I'll show you something and you'll definitely agree to let me take the child away," Zhang Yu said seriously to the giant Swampert. The giant Swampert looked at Zhang Yu for a while and then nodded. "Phew, there's still something to talk about. Let me tell the mother and daughter of the Tang family first and ask them to wait for a while." Chapter 61. Two Swamperts brought Zhang Yu and Smelly to an open space. Zhang Yu looked around and found nothing there, not even a shadow. Not bad, so he felt relieved. Then he threw out the pokeball and summoned the burning bug. The burning bug looked at the two giant swampers around it, tilted its head, and looked at Zhang Yu with some confusion. "Burn the bugs, show them your special flame, just release it a little bit." Hearing this, the burning bug instantly understood what Zhang Yu meant. It closed its eyes, and gradually, little warm fireflies appeared around it. As the number of fireflies increased, the temperature around it also gradually rose. Unlike ordinary flames, the burning bug exuded an ancient, warm, and majestic feeling. The giant Swampert seemed to have sensed something and stared at the burning bug motionlessly. The other Swampert seemed a little uneasy, as if it sensed the unusualness of the flames. The water leap fish in Zhang Yu's arms looked at the flames with some curiosity, slowly stretched its hand into the flames, then stared at the giant Swampert with wide eyes, and then looked back at Zhang Yu, feeling a little incredible that the flames did not burn it. These flames are the super specification fire energy that once existed in the burning worm's body. After the burning worm accepted the inheritance from its mother, it successfully transformed this energy into its own power. At the same time, the fire power of the Phoenix King was also integrated into it. In other words, the flame that burning worm now has contains the power inherited from his parents, the power of the Phoenix King, and another unknown power. In previous battles, Zhang Yu did not let the burning bug use this power, but only used its own power, so the result of each battle was not a crushing victory. Even so, the battle was resolved with just a few flame jets, which shows that the power of the Infernape alone far surpassed that of other Pokémon, and its parents' lineage was probably also incredibly strong. The more powerful the Pokémon, the more sensitive it is to energy, and probably the more it understands what these flames represent. The Alliance has clear records of the 3 sacred beasts resurrected by Phoenix King. Perhaps the Alliance has already come into contact with some second-level gods and understands what these second-level gods represent. You can feel the special fire power of the burning bug, right? Zhang Yu looked at Swampert with hopeful eyes. Don't be so stupid. I can feel that one of the powers belongs to Lord Ho-Oh, another is similar to Ho-Oh, and another is much weaker. Yeah, it's good that you know there is the power of Phoenix King, Zhang Yu nodded on the side. Then he suddenly opened his eyes wide. How do you know the power of the Phoenix King? What the hell? Have you seen the Phoenix King? Now that we know the power of this Phoenix King, things will be easy. Yes, this is the power of Lord Ho-Oh. My incandescent bug is the Pokémon that it has taken a fancy to. Zhang Yu hurriedly used Ho-Oh to take advantage of the situation, but he did not say the full truth. He just said that it was taken a fancy to, but did not say that it was chosen. Incandescent bug has the flames of Ho-Oh, so there is nothing wrong in saying that it has taken a fancy to it. The giant Swampert stared at the water leap fish in Zhang Yu's hand, nodded slowly, and roared at Zhang Yu. You can take my child away, but I have a request. Beautiful, I just like the Pokémon on the road, and quickly said, tell me, what are the conditions? After you die, it must come back to protect its tribe. Zhang Yu's face darkened. If you want it to come back later, just say so. What about when I die? I'm only 16 years old, and the average human age is 200 years old. I'm so unlucky. But he still nodded with a dark face. Writing a will. You are going too far. Is it true that making a will at the age of 16 is effective? He didn't know that he was shocked by Swampert's profound knowledge. He didn't expect that it actually understood human laws. The Alliance's level of legal education was so high? This giant Swampert may seem easy to talk to, but he is definitely evil at heart. Zhang Yu complained wildly in his heart. Zhang Yu kept communicating by saying that there was no paper or pen here, and fortunately Swampert gave up the idea of asking him to make a will. Hey, why does it feel like Pokémon isn't as simple as I imagined? Zhang Yu sat down next to the giant Swampert, put his hands on its body, and used the power of Evergreen to heal its hidden injuries. When it came, Zhang Yu felt that it had many hidden injuries. The status of Pokémon is gained through struggle, and wild Pokémon will have hidden injuries. This time, taking away the child, and not knowing when it will come back, can also allow it to maintain its peak for a while longer. Feeling the power of Zhang Yu's hands, the giant Swampert also knew what Zhang Yu was doing, so he lay on the ground and had some pre-parting communication with his children. The burning worm lay next to Zhang Yu, secretly watching his future younger brother. Not long after, Zhang Yu finally healed its hidden injury. He wiped the sweat from his forehead with the back of his hand. He had never used the power of Changpan so intensively before. He was really exhausted. He had to drink some wolfberry to replenish his energy when he got home. Zhang Yu said goodbye to the giant Swampert with the water leap fish. Just as he was about to leave, he heard the roar of the Swampert. Wait, I don't agree with you taking it away. It's no use if you disagree, since the father has agreed. Zhang Yu found that his ability to complain has improved since coming to this world, and he feels that he has the ability to participate in the complaint conference. This is my favorite nephew, I have to pay extra. Zhang Yu responded with a big eye roll. Wait, why does this sentence sound so familiar? I feel like I've heard it somewhere before. Let them go. Seeing Zhang Yu coming back with the water-leaping fish, the mother and daughter of the Tang family couldn't help but feel happy for Zhang Yu. After going through so many twists and turns, wasn't it just for this scene? Soon after, the three of them left the water secret realm. Zhang Yu asked with some concern, Aunt Tang, will taking this water-leaping fish cause you any trouble, right? Don't worry, this water jump isn't as important as the children of other dominant Pokémon. This Squidward was born before Swampert became the dominant Pokémon. 1 year of gestation and half a year of incubation. That is to say, no one paid attention to this egg at that time. No one expected that 2 years later this Swampert would be able to defeat the Overlord Melodic. Besides, this water skipper wasn't bred by Swampert when he was at his peak, and Swampert doesn't take it very seriously. Pokémon place their hopes on the offspring they conceived when they were at their peak. After hearing Tang Kainyu's explanation, Zhang Yu felt relieved. He was really afraid that the alliance would take it back after a while. Wouldn't that be a loss of both the wife and the army? After Zhang Yu and his group left the water secret realm, a Pokémon suddenly jumped out from an unknown lake in the water secret realm, stood on the water, and looked in the direction the three people left. That aura just now was the aura of Lord Ho-Oh, and there are 4 other auras, one of them is not weaker than Lord Ho-Oh. There is even an aura similar to mine. What is going on with this complex aura? Chapter 62. On the way back, Zhang Yu also asked about the matter of preemptive moves, and learned from Aunt Tang that there was a solution to the problem of his moves being interrupted in this battle, and there were 3 factors that affected the release of moves. 1 is the degree of control over the Pokémon's energy. The better the control over the energy, the faster the energy for the moves will be gathered. When the energy control reaches a certain level, small power moves can be released in seconds, and even moves of average power can be released instantly. Moves with greater power will take a certain amount of time. However, the ability to control energy generally depends on talent, which he is not worried about at all. Whether it is the burning bug, Mage Arna, or the water leap fish, the talent is there. Secondly, using good energy blocks can speed up the Pokémon's absorption and control of energy. He doesn't need to worry about this. System energy blocks are safe and secure to eat, and every bite is a pleasure. He is just worried that there will be too many Pokémon in the future and there will not be enough system coins. He couldn't help but think in his heart, System, please make the tasks more intense. I haven't felt the feeling of working overtime for a long time. If it is a Pokémon that needs an evolution stone, the S-level evolution stone is undoubtedly the best, which can improve the Pokémon's energy control to a certain extent. The second is the proficiency of Pokémon's moves. There is nothing much to say about this. Practice makes perfect, and everyone understands that. This is also the focus of training for the 3 Pokémon. The third is willpower and physical strength, which means that you need to have a strong will and a strong physique to be able to take the moves head-on, and at the same time endure the pain to release the moves. This is also something that all Pokémon need to train. Willpower and physical strength are always the cornerstones of creating miracles. After saying goodbye to the Tang mother and daughter, Zhang Yu returned to his mother's residence, a small villa that was not very big, but enough for him. It had all the necessary facilities, including a training room, some Pokémon training supplies, dumbbells, gantry, treadmills, etc., which were enough for Pokémon in the growth and novice stages. Returning to the room, they summoned out Babybug, Squirtle, Burning Bug, and Mage Arna. The 4 little ones looked at the big house curiously. They didn't expect that their trainer actually had such a big house. They really couldn't tell. After losing interest, the Nanny Bug, the Burning Bug, and Mage Arna looked at the water leap fish curiously. Is this the little brother who will protect them in the future? He is so small and cute. Shuiyu looked up at his 3 sisters, but he was too short, and he couldn't see their full appearance even if he looked up. Shuiyu's little head kept tilting his neck back, and he gradually stood up, but he lost his balance and fell to the ground with a thump. When the Babybug saw such a tiny Pokémon, her maternal love suddenly overflowed. She held the water skipper in her arms and rubbed it with her face. The Babybug's little eyes lit up with joy. From now on, she could finally hold a tiny Pokémon in her arms. The burning worm carefully touched the water-leaping fish with its front paws, looked at its wet paws with a shocked look, and no one knew what it was thinking. Magiana held her chin with both hands, and her face was full of joy when she saw that the big family had a new member. She liked the lively feeling, which was what home felt like. For some reason, the water-leaping fish in the arms of the nanny worm became a little stiff, curled up into a ball and trembled. There was an energy in the nanny worm that made it particularly afraid, as if the fear was engraved in its bones. Zhang Yu touched his chin. Babybug is a parenting Pokémon that particularly likes eggs and small Pokémon. Infernape has a body of fire and can be considered half a parenting Pokémon. Mage Arna was originally created to take care of princesses and also likes to take care of people. In other words, before Shuiyu came, he had 3 nannies? Damn, he didn't make good use of them. Maybe opening a nursery would be very profitable. Or we can open a nursery in the future, with the burning bugs responsible for hatching eggs, the nanny bugs responsible for taking care of the newborns, and Magi responsible for playing with a group of children. We can also get a big milk tank to feed the children, providing a one-stop service. Seeing the 4 little ones playing aside, he couldn't help but sigh. Since coming here, he has been relying on the burning bug to fight. Now with the water leap fish, the burning bug can finally take a break and the team can be considered to be temporarily formed. Next, I have to consider the training plan. There are still 3 months before the College Cup. It will be hard for Combo and Smelt during this period. I don't know if Smelt can evolve into Swampert in 3 months. It's probably difficult. Majira's training cannot be left behind. Although she will not be on the field, she should be used as a trump card so that Majira will not feel lonely and will feel involved. This is also what she actively requested after seeing the burning bug training. As for the nanny bug, forget about it and let nature take its course. It is not very keen on training. On the contrary, every time the burning bug is injured, the nanny bug will take care of it, more like a nanny, which allows it to learn some simple rescue knowledge. The training direction of the burning bug is special attack turrets. The training content mainly focuses on the proficiency of moves, endurance, and speed training. The special attack only needs to be trained step by step. In his opinion, it is difficult to increase the upper limit of such a strong special attack, unless there is an encounter. The training direction of Mage Arna is to develop a steel turret with certain auxiliary capabilities. Mage Arna is much better in terms of attribute combination, racial value, and skill pool. The combination of Steel Demon's attributes brings extremely outstanding resistance. Its racial value of double defense is also 115, so it has no problem being a meat shield. The most outstanding feature is the special attack of 130, which makes it fully capable of being the core special attack output in the team. There are many good auxiliary moves in the excellent skill pool. Zhang Yu plans to treat Mage Arna as a swing position. Mage Arna will do whatever is needed, which is also in line with its character of being willing to take care of people. Zhang Yu told Magiana about his idea. Magiana was very happy that he had such an idea. Being able to help everyone was Magiana's greatest happiness. There are more things to train, including skill proficiency, special attack, endurance, speed, and combat experience. Since he obtained Mage Arna, he has never let it fight. No matter from which aspect, Mage Arna lacks a lot. The last one is Shui Yuiu, who carries everyone's hopes. She is the only physical attacker in the team. She has an excellent physique and certain ability to stand on the field. She needs to solve the weaknesses of her 2 sisters, and her training direction must be a physical attacker. Zhang Yu could see its strong heart from its training content. If he let it move towards the direction of meat shield, it might run away from home. The training content included move proficiency, physical attack, endurance, speed, and combat experience, which was similar to Mage Arna. Generally speaking, endurance and speed are what all 3 need to train. Speed is really important in battle. Whoever is faster has the initiative. This is the experience Zhang Yu has gained from fighting for so long. Although the special attack of the burning bug is extremely outrageous, it is very passive in every battle because its speed is too slow. The biggest weakness of his team is also speed. Except for the final form of the burning bug, which has a decent speed, the other 2 are very slow. He considered whether to find a high-speed Pokémon, or let Mage Arna open Trick Space. After all, he had drawn the Trick Space skill book last time. This will make Vulcano very uncomfortable. The speed of Mage Arna and Swampert, is very embarrassing. They are not particularly slow. It would be more appropriate to find a high-speed Pokémon. He couldn't help but fall into deep thought. Chapter 63. After making all the plans, Zhang Yu began to plan what he should do. The Pokémon were training in an orderly manner, and as their trainer, he could not sit idle and had to take the lead. The trainer would also do some physical training with the Pokémon to prevent them from lagging behind in the wild. These were all bloody lessons learned in the league. First sell the Pokémon you have, Infernape, Pidgeot, Kairos, Charmeleon and Flutter. The problem is where to sell them. They can be sold through the Alliance, but the price will be lower. They can also be sold through the auction house, but the handling fee is very expensive. The qualifications of these Pokémon are average, so they are not suitable for the auction house and are likely to fail to sell. Finally, there is the black market. Ghost-type Pokémon such as Cursed Doll and Float are very popular in the black market. People who go to the black market are likely to have some identity problems. The characteristics of Ghost-type Pokémon are very suitable for some operations, and Ghost-type Pokémon are rare. After thinking for a moment, Zhang Yu decided to go to the black market to have a look. One of the reasons was that he could get a good price. Secondly, he was curious about the black market, and he also wanted to buy 1 or 2 Pokémon eggs of average quality for the babysitter, so that it wouldn't always feel lost because it didn't have a Pokémon in its arms. The hatched Pokémon can also deceive people, making Zhang Yu's team look not so strong. He is just lucky to find Pokémon with high qualifications. Speaking of the black market, he thought of Song Qingyu's Ditto who could change his appearance. He thought Ditto could only be used to hatch eggs like in the game, but he didn't expect that the world had such a big imagination. He also wanted one. It was so convenient to hide his identity. He would ask Song Qingyu about the black market and Ditto later. He would definitely know. Zhang Yu touched his chin. He would definitely not go to the black market by himself. After experiencing 2 incidents, his paranoia became more and more serious. Is there any way to ensure his safety? He didn't know anyone in Shanghai. Secondly, you should let others know your identity as a stone lover as early as possible, and post some news about stone acquisitions on forums and platforms. Only by increasing your own popularity will you have more channels to collect evolution stones. According to his thinking, it would take a long time before he could announce his mega evolution. By then, his strength should have reached a certain level and he would not be afraid of the Alliance's investigation. This period of time would be enough for him to collect a lot of stones. There is also one most important problem: money. I am so poor. I am so poor. Even with the help of the system, I am still so poor. I can't imagine how rich others are. Does he really have to be an Pokémon hunter? He doesn't like this profession very much, but he doesn't hate it very much either. If life doesn't force him, who would be willing to walk on the edge of a knife? As he came from a poor family in his previous life, he understands the suffering of the lower class people very well. Resources are concentrated, promotion channels are controlled, and they spend their entire lives searching for that glimmer of opportunity, struggling hard, and believing until their death that they were not working hard enough. Fortunately, his family is not bad and it hasn't reached that point, but I've talked about this with my mother before. According to her, she has the ability to support Zhang Yu with 4 Pokémon, and that doesn't include Steel-type, Dragon-type, Quasi-God, or edible Pokémon like Snorlax. Being a well-known domestic PhD in evolution sounds impressive, and the salary is indeed high, as are the bonuses, but what is more important is that one can enjoy the benefits within the Alliance. For example, my mother's Jengar was originally used for research, but was finally taken in by my mother. The resources for its cultivation can also be obtained from the Alliance, and Jengar's outrageous moves were all given by the Alliance. However, there is a strict set of procedures for all of these. Although it is possible to do so and the League will turn a blind eye, it cannot be too extreme. These obviously cannot meet his needs, he must consider it in advance. It seems that he needs to go to the bookstore tomorrow to buy a copy of the Alliance Criminal Law Encyclopedia. Many netizens said that the ways to make money are all in the criminal law, and he is good at listening to the suggestions of many netizens. Just as Zhang Yu was thinking, Shui Yuiyu climbed onto Zhang Yu's legs tremblingly, with a frightened look on his face. The sisters were too enthusiastic, especially the nanny bug, who scared the child. I picked up the water jump fish, and put it level with his handsome face. I took out my phone and took a photo with the water jump fish. I posted it online with the text family, "What should I do if the boy is a coward?" Unexpectedly, Zhang Yu actually read out the text. Without thinking, Shui Yuiyu knew that it was being talked about. Its little face fell, looking aggrieved, and it cried out weakly. "I don't know either. I'm just a little scared." "So afraid of the nanny bug? Why?" Zhang Yu touched his chin. The burning bug was a fire type, but it didn't make it feel uncomfortable. It was not afraid of Maguna. The nanny bug had a good personality, gentle and patient. He didn't understand. When the nanny worm saw that the water-leaping fish was so afraid of it, its face was full of disappointment, and the two tentacles on its head drooped down. Seeing this, Magyana came to the nanny worm and kept comforting it. "It's not your problem, nanny bug. It's probably because the child is afraid of something in you," Zhang Yu comforted him. He picked up the water-leaping fish again, stroked its forehead gently, and said seriously, "Everyone here is my family. They won't hurt you. Don't be afraid. If anyone dares to hurt you, I will never let him go." The water-leaping fish cried out weakly. "There is something painful on it. The nanny bug has a very painful energy. What the hell is this very painful energy? Nanny bugs are of insect and grass attributes. Damn it. No, are you afraid of grass to the core? You are only a water type now, not a ground type. If you evolve, you will kneel down when you see a grass type. No, I must let Aqualad overcome its fear, otherwise how will it fight grass type Pokémon in the future? Water leaping fish? Water leap fish, aren't we going to let Burning Bug Sister hit us? Zhang Yu, even Burning Bug Sister gets tired sometimes. Fish leaping in water, have you heard what people say? I miss Shuyu a little bit now. Can I return the product? Is there shipping insurance? Zhang Yu thought about it. Although he didn't need to use Aqualad to face grass-type Pokémon, he still had to help it overcome its fear, otherwise there would be problems getting along with other grass-type Pokémon. It's decided, Aqualad's first battle. The Water vs. Grass Pokémon Showdown. In the future, you should let Smelly fight more often against grass-type Pokémon to help it overcome its fear. Grass-type Pokémon are not invincible. Just as Zhang Yu was thinking about how to help the Shuyu overcome their fear, the bell for opening the door downstairs rang, so he took Magiana back into the advanced ball and brought the three little ones downstairs. The mother and son were sitting in the hall. After Xiaohua saw the leaping fish, she held the fish and kept checking it, lifting its little paws, flipping up its eyelids, touching its dorsal fin, and prying open its mouth to check its oral cavity. "This leaping fish is in really good condition and performs well in all aspects," Xiaohua exclaimed, putting the leaping fish down. The Shuyu that was put down quickly ran behind Zhang Yu, showing half of its head and looking at Xiaohua. It was a little scared. This woman was so scary. It didn't dare to resist at all. It always felt a vague murderous aura. "Mom, let me discuss something with you." "Hey?" you said. Chapter 64. Zhang Yu was a little hesitant. He was afraid that after he told his mother, she would not let him go. That would be embarrassing. He needed to sell the Pokémon on hand as soon as possible and exchange them for other resources. That was what he should do most. After thinking for a while, he spoke slowly. "I caught some Pokémon in Viridian Forest and wanted to sell them on the black market." "Black market? The money I gave you is not enough." Xiaohua was a little confused. She had heard of the black market but had never been there. As a Pokémon doctor, the Alliance would provide everything she needed. In her opinion, the black market is a gathering place for criminals and is full of unstable factors. She is rather disgusted with these things and does not want her children to be exposed to them. Most importantly, she is worried about Zhang Yu's safety. However, she wanted to hear her child's thoughts. If there were any problems with the ideas, she could talk to Zhang Yu. If Zhang Yu really gave a reason she could accept, she would respect the child's choice. No matter what happened, Zhang Yu was her child, and she would support Zhang Yu unconditionally. It's enough, but as the Pokémon's power increases, there will come a day when it won't be enough. I'm grown up now, and I want to share some of the burden with you. I also want to go to the black market and buy some things. Whatever you want to buy, Mom can buy it for you. Aren't things bought in the Alliance more reliable than those on the black market?" Obviously, Zhang Yu's words did not impress Xiaohua. And what she said was right. Many things on the black market are fake or inferior goods. The reason why the black market is called the black market is that its biggest advantage is that things of unknown origin can also be sold. "Oh, Mom, after I graduate, I will be exposed to the black market sooner or later, and this is the Magic City, how rampant can the black market be?" Song Qingyu also said that there can't be any king-level trainers in the black market. There are almost no gym-level trainers. It's their subordinates who are doing the work. "Mom, you may not know this yet, but Song Qingyu is already at the king level." Fearing that his mother would refuse, Zhang Yu spoke out his thoughts directly. He had indeed consulted Song Qingyu just now. The Alliance's attitude towards the black market is to turn a blind eye. The Alliance is also aware of the situation of civilians. In order to quell their dissatisfaction, it leaves them a way out. The existence of the black market is also for the stability of the Alliance. This is the Magic City, one of the most important cities in the Alliance. There are many kings guarding the Magic City, and there are also champions. The black market dares to cause trouble in the Magic City. Do they want to die? There really aren't any elite level trainers on the black market. The League doesn't allow them, unless they have problems with their identities or are elite level trainers hiding their identities. But he doesn't believe that he would be so unlucky. How low would the probability be for him to encounter one? The most important thing is that he really wants to go and take a look. This is the Magic City, the international capital. The black market here must be extremely prosperous. Maybe he can encounter some resources that are not available in Shenzhou. When Xiaoshihua heard that there was not even a gym-level store in the black market, she felt a little relieved. Later, she heard that Song Qingyu had actually reached the king level. This news was obviously more shocking to her than anything Zhang Yu had said before. If Song Qingyu was at the gym level, what he said might not be credible, but it would be different when he reached the king level. Judging from Xiaoshihua's expression, he probably agreed. As for why he didn't tell Xiaoshihua Song Qingyu's true strength, Zhang Yu was afraid that his mother would think that Song Qingyu was going to bring Zhang Yu into contact with some organization. Who would believe that there was no organization behind him? How many quasi-champions are there in the huge Shenzhou alliance? Which quasi-champion doesn't have a huge family or organization behind him? After a long while, Xiaoshihua's frown relaxed and she said seriously, "You can go, but you must bring your mother's Pokémon with you." That's what I wanted to say. I want to borrow your mom's Pokémon for you. When Zhang Yu heard his mother agree, a chrysanthemum-like smile appeared on his face. When to go? Let's do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday and I have nothing to do. I have to start training on Monday. Geng Gui, follow Xiaohu tomorrow and protect him. As soon as Xiaoshihua finished speaking, a big fat purple man emerged from her shadow. Dedicated. I feel like Jengar has gained a lot of weight compared to last time. Zhang Yu touched his chin, wondering if it was an illusion. Looking at Jengar's skill pool, same life, poison, substitute, guard, hypnosis, dream eater, black eyes, scattering, shadow fist, fire fist, ice fist, and lightning fist, especially the last 4 punches. Does this Jengar really like to eat the 4 circles? This Jengar might be very strong in combat, but protecting him might not be so good, as Jengar's biggest advantage is that it can hide in the shadows and attack its opponents unexpectedly, but Ghost-type and Psychic-type Pokémon might be able to sense Jengar. Hearing this, Geng's face fell and he looked serious. He stared at Zhang Yu intently, and kept glancing at Xiaoshihua out of the corner of his eye. Don't talk nonsense. Xiaoshihua ignored the 2 funny guys and took out 2 high-level balls from his waist and handed them to Zhang Yu, saying, "These 2 balls contain." After knowing which 2 Pokémon were in the ball, Zhang Yu widened his eyes with a surprised expression. He didn't expect his mother to be so rich. One of them was given to me by the Alliance. The Alliance can't always send people to protect me, so they left this Pokémon with me. The other one is mine. As a professor, what's wrong with having several Pokémon? Xiaoshihua ignored Zhang Yu's surprise and said calmly. How many? I didn't expect my mother to be so strong. He thought that the doctors were weak and helpless. It seems that he underestimated the benefits of the Alliance. The key point is that both of them are very rare. He remembered that there was no place to breed one of them in the country. It turned out that he was the only one who was poor. Originally, he planned to let his mother publish content on Mega Evolution in the future. After all, as a well-known doctor of evolution, his mother's authority is top-notch in the country, and it can also improve his mother's status. Zhang Yu touched his chin. After learning about the benefits of the Alliance, he was considering whether to choose liberal arts. This would be a good preparation for the future publication of Mega Evolution, Dynamax, and Crystallization. His mother is also a doctor, and his mother's mentor might be able to lend him a hand. From this point of view, the path of a doctor is actually easier than the combat system. After seeing these 2 Pokémon, he was not worried about his own safety at all, unless his strength was much greater than those 2 Pokémon, not to mention that there was Jengar hiding in his shadow. He felt that he was incredibly strong now, and even if he met an opponent as powerful as Ant Tang, he could still escape gracefully. The most important problem was solved smoothly. Zhang Yu rubbed his hands embarrassedly and looked at his mother. When Xiaoshihua saw her son's gesture, she immediately understood and jokingly said, "Aren't you just sharing the burden for your mother? Hasn't this started yet?" Zhang Yu felt a little embarrassed, and at the same time sighed in his heart that he was still not thick enough. Why was he so shy to ask his mother for some money? "I'll call you tomorrow." Receive. After chatting with Xiaoshihua for a while, Zhang Yu returned to the room. Now there is only one problem left. Zhang Yu took out his mobile phone, created a new account, and posted the news of the acquisition of Shi Tou on major platforms and forums. "We are buying stones at high prices. Any special stones are fine. Bring pictures. We will provide you with large quantities." Chapter 65. The next morning, Zhang Yu wanted to get up but found that he couldn't move at all. He felt like something was pressing on him. Was he suffering from sleep paralysis? He suddenly opened his eyes and looked upwards. Alas, he sighed helplessly. A purple fat man was looking at him with a smile. This purple fat man was actually greedy for his body. He reached into the quilt, took out a few ghost energy blocks from his backpack, waved his hand, and threw them outside. A gust of wind blew, and the purple fat man disappeared. Zhang Yu got up and looked at the empty room, wondering where his Pokémon was. "I walked around the second floor but didn't find it. I also looked on the first floor, but still nothing. It can't be in the underground training room. When did they work so hard? Every time they coax the burning worms to train, they are like children." While thinking about it, he came to the training room. 3 figures gathered together. Zhang Yu walked over and saw a figure running on the treadmill. Okay, you 3 sisters just stay here and watch Shui Yu train on his own, right? You can serve as role models." Seeing Zhang Yu coming, the 3 sisters felt a little embarrassed. Before Zhang Yu could say anything, the 3 sisters began to act coquettishly towards Zhang Yu. The burning bug hugs Zhang Yu. "I'm hungry." Majiyana looked at Zhang Yu innocently, staring at him. "Nanny bug, you must be hungry, I'll go cook for you." 3 sisters, 3 different personalities. Zhang Yu sighed in his heart. Fortunately, Shui Yu is a boy, otherwise it would be terrible. He would almost become an army of women. Okay, let's eat first, and then go buy some things." Zhang Yu clapped his hands. He planned to take advantage of today's rest to go to the black market. He was afraid that he would not have time when he started training the day after tomorrow. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Zhang Yu arrived at the entrance of the black market. There were not many people during the day, and there were relatively few stalls. The shops had already arranged the goods neatly, which was perfect for him to shop alone. In order not to expose himself, Zhang Yu put on a mask, sun protective clothing, and a hat. Unless someone was familiar with him, no one would recognize him. When he arrived at the underground black market, he found not only many small stalls, but also many seemingly regular shops, which were much cleaner and more formal than he had imagined. Although they had just opened, there were also many people of all kinds. There are many people like him who wear masks, some wear masks, and some who do not hide their true faces at all. In fact, he also wants a ditto that can change its face like Song King Yu. According to him, some black markets specialize in selling this kind of ditto. The black market in Shanghai is well managed. It is divided into many areas, including the moves area, props area, Pokémon area, egg area, grocery area, etc. It is well managed, similar to a shopping mall. Zhang Yu planned to take a closer look and start with the nearest store. Walking into the store, he found a lot of Pokeballs on the shelves. Just as he was absorbed in looking at them, a waiter came up to him and said, "Hello, sir. How can I help you? Do you buy Pokémon?" "We are buying Pokémon. Please follow me. I wonder which Pokémon you want to sell, sir." The waiter took Zhang Yu to the service desk and gave him a tablet. The tablet shows the purchase and selling prices of various Pokémon. Zhang Yu was not in a hurry to sell them, but glanced through the information to have an idea in mind so that he would have a reference template for future transactions. After spending a long time reading all this information, he discovered that a lot of information about Pokémon was missing. Then he took out 5 Pokeballs and said, "I want to sell these." After telling the other party the information about the 5 Pokémons, Zhang Yu increased the price by 20% based on the other party's purchase price. The two bargained for a while and finally set the price at 80. The price of 2 ghost-type Pokémon can reach 40, and the other 3 were sold for a total of 40, which is not a lot, but it is within his acceptable range. Zhang Yu was obviously excited with the income of 80 yuan. This was his first pot of gold. Although it was not much, it was of great significance. It also gave him more confidence to go shopping in the black market. After strolling around for a while, he found that the prices in the shops here were very high. Even if they were lower than those sold in the Alliance, they were not much lower, only about 25%. The quality was not necessarily guaranteed. If he were allowed to choose, he would go to the Alliance to buy. Of course, this was on the premise that he had money. The stalls outside are even more outrageous. After walking around, there are few things that catch my eye. Many of them look gorgeous and normal, but most of them are fake. For example, these evolution stones in front of me are said by the stall owner to be B-level fire stones. The surface looks very smooth without any cracks, and I can clearly feel the energy in them when I hold them in my hands. But after system testing, it was found that this was a broken fire stone that was not even D-level and was full of cracks. If anyone bought this fire stone and used it on a Pokémon, the quality would be degraded at best, but the Pokémon would most likely die. This broken stone is worth 200 million. This pile of stuff can be exchanged for a quasi-god. The black market is so fucking dark, it's full of vampires. But there are also some normal props, it just depends on whether you have eyes that can discover beauty. Boss, how much is this high-end ball? Zhang Yu saw a stall filled with all kinds of pokeballs. A pokeball is 2 yuan, a super pokeball is 6 yuan, a high-level pokeball is 10 yuan, and others like nest balls are all 16 yuan, the stall owner replied without even looking at it. Tisk, it's twice as expensive. The one he uses in the advanced league sells for 5 yuan, but here it sells for 10 yuan. The Alliance's Pokeballs are all numbered. The Alliance can lock the Pokeballs so that the Pokemon inside cannot come out. In other words, using the Alliance's Pokeballs is equivalent to handing your life over to the Alliance. The Alliance also requires that each person can bring up to 6 Pokemon. Every time a treatment is received at the treatment center, the data of the Pokemon in the ball will be handed over to the Alliance. The stall owner sells unlocked and unnumbered Pokeballs, similar to the high-level balls he redeemed in the system to capture Mage Arna. This kind of ball can carry as many Pokemon as one wants, and it won't be locked one day. It can be said to be a must-have for trainers. After the system tested the stalls and found no problems with the balls, he planned to buy 2 first in case of emergency and capture a few Pokemon as a trump card. In the future, the Pokemon of the 2nd or even 3rd team might use this kind of Pokeball. 2 advanced balls 1-2W. Hearing this, the stall owner paused and looked at Zhang Yu as if he was a fool. Brother, you are here to cause trouble. Both ball leagues are selling for 10 yuan. I am selling for 12 yuan and making nothing. 13 yuan, I'm a student, give it to me at a lower price. Brother, if you really want to buy it, I'll sell it to you for 19 yuan. Go ask somewhere else to see if you can find it so cheap. How about this, 14W, you see there aren't many people here right now, I'll help you open one, the first one has been opened, so how long will it take for the rest? Brother, I don't think you are a good person, I won't waste time, 18W. Don't talk nonsense. The price is 15 yuan. You can pay it immediately. If you don't want to pay, forget it. Zhang Yu put down the high-end ball and pretended to leave. It's too little, not much profit, add another 10,000. The stall owner took Zhang Yu's hand and put the ball in his hand. Zhang Yu ignored him and got up and left. Seeing this, the stall owner hurriedly said, take the 15 yuan. I sold it at a loss. Come to me for business in the future. Hearing this, Zhang Yu turned around and transferred the money to him. Audasai, there will definitely be business in the future. 15 for 2 unlocked high-level balls, not bad. Zhang Yu is looking forward to finding something good next. Chapter 66. Zhang Yu shopped around very carefully. He would stay at each stall to observe for a while and would go into every store to look around. He had a feeling that he would inevitably have to deal with the black market in the future. When you come to the move area, there are already many moves inherited from the burning bug, and you have also learned some other moves. The powerful moves in this series include Fire Dance, Jet of Flame, Hot Wind, and Insect Chirp, and the powerful moves in other series include Big Rant, Mind Hammer, and Ultimate Absorption. Zhang Yu did not plan to add any more skills to the burning bug. His main focus next was to become proficient in using these skills. His purpose of coming to the move area was to add some moves to the water-leaping fish. In the early stages, the moves that could be learned by simply increasing levels had limited power. He did not consider defensive moves. He had the permanent skill books of Hold On and Hold On. When the water-leap fish reached level 12, it would comprehend Hold On by itself. Combined with its inherited skill of wide area defense, it could learn a total of 3 defensive moves. His targets are ice, water, and normal type physical moves. Swampert being a water type physical attacker is a bit awkward, as most water type moves are special attacks, and in his skill book only Waterfall, Water Burst, and Quick Return are physical attacks. The ice and general types are just to expand the attack surface. As for why ground-based moves were not considered, the only ground-based physical move that water leap fish can learn through the skill book is digging holes. Digging holes is a little magical skill that can be used to avoid attacks, but you must remember to get out in time after dodging, otherwise the opponent will use energy-based moves on the hole. Even if the damage caused is relatively low, the effect of the move will be triggered. For example, if you fill the hole with venom, if the hole doesn't come out, you will definitely be poisoned if you want to take a bath in the venom. Even so, digging holes is expensive, but also quite powerful. Swampert and Swampert can learn other ground-based physical attack moves, but it depends on the situation. After walking around for a while, Zhang Yu found that there were not as many moves as he had imagined, very few, and all the useful moves were out of stock. There were only some moves that were not very useful and had great limitations. He also discovered that the moves on the black market were not cheaper than those from the Alliance, and the degree of cheapness was negligible. But he still found an ice-type move Avalanche, which has certain limitations and tests the Pokémon's abilities. Avalanche is a move that can only be used after being attacked by the opponent. After successful use, the power of the move becomes twice as powerful as usual. Just now Zhang Yu was also considering whether he needed to buy the Avalanche skill book since he already had a one-time Freezing Fist skill book. After thinking for a moment he decided to buy it, as he felt that Avalanche was very suitable for water-jumping fish. The water leap fish is slow and can be easily hit by the opponent first. At the same time, it can also restrain the first strike skill. As long as the water leap fish can withstand the opponent's attack, the Avalanche will instantly turn into a 120-degree powerful move, far surpassing the Ice Fist. It can be said to be the strongest move of the water leap fish. It cost 30 yuan to buy it, which is not expensive. It is a move that is rarely used by strong people and cannot be used by weak people, so the price is not high. It was a pity that he didn't see any water-based physical attack moves, but even if there were any, they would definitely be over 1,000,000 levels. When you come to the props area, the most common thing is tree fruits. These things are usually useless and will rot after a long time. They are only used in some important competitions, but the price at that time will be several times more expensive than it is now. Zhang Yu doesn't have a deep obsession with props. He will buy them if he can, and forget about it if he can't. Ordinary and elite Pokémon grow faster, and they will be eliminated faster if you buy low-level props. The key is that low-level props are not cheap either. One low-level item can buy an ordinary skill. After walking around, he found that many of the props were damaged. They looked like normal props, but he questioned whether they were effective. He found a complete B-grade convex helmet at a stall. An item that will cause damage to the opponent after receiving hit damage, that is, close-range attack. B level is effective against opponents at the gym level and below, A level corresponds to the king level, S corresponds to the champion level, and netizens speculate that there is an S and level above the S level, which is most likely the corresponding master level Pokémon. As for whether there are any props that can be effective against Pokémon with the strength of level 2 God or above, except for some legendary props, he can't think of other props that will be effective against Pokémon of this strength. Maybe there are, but he can't access them now. How much is the Tutu helmet? He picked up the helmet, a helmet similar to a safety helmet, turned it back and forth to check, and there was no problem. 400W. Zhang Yu turned the convex helmet back and forth again to see if it was damaged anywhere. Phew, luckily nothing happened. I put it down carefully and turned to leave. Looking at Zhang Yu's back as he left, the stall owner said, "Bah, what are you looking at if you have no money, poor bastard?" After walking around for a while, he discovered that immutable stone was very common in the black market. Out of curiosity, he asked about the price, but he just froze in place. The price of the unchanging stone is 60 yuan, and the avalanche skill book he just bought only cost 30 yuan. After asking a stall owner, he learned that the target group of the immutable stone is young women, most of whom like cute Pokémon. If some Pokémon become unsatisfactory after evolution, they will buy immutable stones for the Pokémon to wear. Zhang Yu couldn't help but sigh that the consumption capacity rankings in his previous life also applied here. He intended to win glory for the men, but unfortunately he was powerless. The next one is the most important reason, and he was a little tempted. The initial form of Pokémon can, at a lower level than the final evolution, learn in advance moves that can only be mastered as the strength increases. Take the example of a Smelly Dagger. Smelly Dagger can master Water Cannon at level 39. When it evolves into a Swampert, it becomes level 55. And Swampert needs to be level 63 to master Water Cannon. The gap between level 39 and level 63 is something that ordinary people may never be able to overcome in their lifetime. After learning the news, Zhang Yu immediately understood the temptation of the unchanging stone to ordinary people. Can ordinary people buy Pokémon of gym level, king level, or above? The answer is 99% impossible, which means that their Pokémon will most likely never master powerful moves in their lifetime. They can neither afford Pokémon with excellent qualifications nor skill books. But it's different with the immutable stone. They can endure for a while. This period will be very hard, but the result is satisfactory. The longer they can endure, the more moves they can learn. An ordinary move costs about 30 yuan, and the ultimate move that a Pokémon learns on its own costs much, mostly over 1,000,000 yuan. In other words, if you can learn 2 more skills without changing the stone, you will make a small profit, and if you can learn more than 3, you will make a huge profit. Think about a level 39 Scuttlebutt that evolves directly after learning Water Cannon. A level 39 Swampert that can use Water Cannon, but Water Cannon is a special attack move and does not match Swampert. The thought of switching to other Pokémon and then learning powerful moves adapted to them makes my scalp tingle. Zhang Yu was indeed tempted, as he had originally wanted to raise some average quality Pokémon to attract attention. However, it was impossible for him to spend a lot of resources to cultivate Pokémon with average qualifications. At this time, the advantage of not changing the stone came into play, as it could enhance the strength of these Pokémon to the greatest extent. There is another possibility. Some Pokémon have different moves that they can learn at each evolutionary stage. Some people choose to give Pokémon an immutable stone in order to learn specific moves. He recognized this use, and had the impression that there were indeed some moves that a Pokémon could not learn in its final form, but could learn in its previous stage. In reality, the immutable stone is a very important prop. Rich people cannot use it, but ordinary people regard it as a treasure. In the game, move learning devices are easily obtained, Pokémon levels can be easily upgraded to level 100, and there are cheat codes, which makes the immortal stone useless and it takes up too much space even if you put it in the toilet. Next was the gambling stone area that he was most looking forward to. Rubbing his hands, Zhang Yu walked into the gambling stone area with great anticipation. Chapter 67. The gambling stone area, as the name suggests, is full of stones. As for what is inside the stones, it all depends on whether God will give you something to eat. Many important items in the Pokémon world are energy stones, and some items are also various stones. As long as they are stones with energy, they can be sold here. As a true stone lover, Zhang Yu would never miss this place. The gambling stone area is crowded with people, and there are several Pokémon near everyone. Some of them are unevolved Pokémon that need energy stones to evolve, so that they can feel which stone may contain the energy they need. In addition, there are psychic and ghost type Pokémon, which seem to be able to sense the special things inside the stone. As expected, all dark crows are as black crows. Many of the stones here are fake. They seem to be full of energy, but in fact they are shit. Many of the stones were damaged and were repaired artificially. They looked much better than real stones. A man bought them for 50 yuan because they looked good. There are some stones that are fine, they are real and can open doors, but they are of no use. Zhang Yu walked to a stall, picked up a few stones and looked at them, then picked up a stone next to it that looked very good and asked, "How much is this?" 50W. 50? Do you think I'm a fool? Zhang Yu was not surprised by the stall owner's random offer and continued calmly, "Your stone is so small, what kind of stone can you get? Which evolutionary stones are not several times bigger than yours? What's the use of looking at the volume? All that's concentrated is the essence, the stall owner explained with great experience. It seemed that someone had said this more than once. I want 2 yuan, Zhang Yu said without raising his head while playing with the stone in his hand. What? How can you bargain like that? 40 yuan at one price. The stall owner was obviously shocked by Zhang Yu's knife skills. Well, I'll give you a favor and 3 is fine. Zhang Yu took the stone in his hand, rubbed it, and looked at it carefully in front of his eyes. My face is only worth 30? If you really want to buy it, you can take it for 100. I always ask for others. Zhang Yu haggled with the boss for a while, and the boss finally agreed to sell it to Zhang Yu for 5 yuan. Let me take another look. But Zhang Yu put the stone down. The stall owner looked at Zhang Yu with a look as if to ask if he had some serious illness. Zhang Yu then picked up a stone next to him and looked at it carefully. Boss, these stones are all about the same size and look pretty good. Where did you get them? Are you going to buy it or not? The boss asked unhappily. Buy it. I've been choosing for such a long time. I think your things are very beautiful. I want to wear them as a bracelet. How about this, 40 yuan, I can pick 10 at random. After saying that, Zhang Yu put down the stone in his hand and picked up another one. 10 stones will make me lose money, 8. The boss picked up 2 stones to demonstrate to Zhang Yu, look at these 2 stones, they are so beautiful. Many people come to me to buy them to make bracelets. I have just put these stones on display. If you come later, you will definitely not be able to buy them. Today is your first time here, so I will give you a new customer discount. 40 yuan, and I'll pick 10. If you don't want to sell them, forget it. Zhang Yu obviously didn't believe his lies, and acted as if he would leave if you didn't agree. Seeing this, the boss quickly called Zhang Yu and said, take it, take it. I'll make a small loss, but we'll just be friends. Hearing this, Zhang Yu's mouth curled up slightly, and he carefully picked up the stones at the stall, and asked, Boss, where are these stones from? They are all very beautiful. I plan to buy stones from this place in the future. Attic mine, it cost us a lot of money to transport it back. Seeing that it was sold for 40 yuan, the boss's attitude was obviously much better. Zhang Yu was thoughtful. Attic mine? I have never heard of this place. I will go back and investigate it carefully. I will go and see it if I have the chance. After selecting 10 stones, Zhang Yu took out his mobile phone and said, Boss, please leave me your contact information. Let me see the stones from this place first when they are shipped. I like the stones from this place very much. No problem. 40 yuan arrived in the account and the boss was so happy that he couldn't stop smiling. Zhang Yu suppressed his inner excitement and calmly left the stall. His hands were shaking a little now. Among these 10 stones, one contains a secret, a Steelix Mega Evolution Stone. I bought a Steel Evolution Stone for 40 yuan. Once the Mega Evolution is announced, it is conservatively estimated that the value of this Evolution Stone, if sold to Steelix enthusiasts, will be at least comparable to that of a quasi-god, and even if it is not as good, it will not be much different. If you get a chance, be sure to visit the Attic mine, where noble Steel-type evolution stones can appear. This place may have a temptation that Steel-type Pokémon cannot refuse, and you may even encounter other Steel-type Pokémon. He finally experienced the joy of buying something for free. Whether he can experience it a second time depends on the boss. After this experience, Zhang Yu would stay at each stall to take a closer look. However, he was not so lucky this time. There were some things at other stalls that he could make a small profit of tens of thousands by buying, but it was not worth wasting training time for these tens of thousands. Just as Zhang Yu was about to leave the gambling area, his cell phone rang. Picking up the phone, Zhang Yu was a little confused. Who is calling? Hello, who is this? Brother, you are really forgetful. Have you forgotten me in such a short while? As soon as he heard the voice, Zhang Yu knew who it was. What's wrong, brother? Come to my stall, I have something for you to see. After hanging up the phone, Zhang Yu returned to the stall where he bought the evolution stone. The boss hugged Zhang Yu's shoulders affectionately, came to the other side of the stall, and introduced Zhang Yu, this is my brother, a batch of goods just arrived, take a look, there are quite a few good things. This boss really treated him as a big enemy. What kind of things were there on the stall? All kinds of fake stones. Just when he was about to refuse, his eyes lit up. He was definitely regarded as a big enemy. Pretending to take a look, he asked, "How much is this?" Seeing Zhang Yu's idea, the boss's eyes lit up and said, "Not expensive, 50 yuan, natural jade, find a master to cut and polish it, and it will definitely make a bracelet." Another 50W, "You really think he is a grudge?" 50W can't see it, 5W can see it. Zhang Yu pretended to be uninterested. The two bosses looked at each other and continued, 5 is too low, the price is 40. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yu put the jade down and turned away. "Brother, 5 yuan deal." The boss quickly called Zhang Yu back. Zhang Yu took the jade in his hand and played with it. He was really lucky today as a good person asked him to buy it for free twice. There is a B-grade lightstone in this jade, which can be sold for more than 1 million. However, he is not in a hurry to sell it. He does not need the 1 million, but the billions. With the evolution stone in front of him, the B-level lightstone was no longer enough to excite him. Zhang Yu, who had found bargains twice, was not in a hurry to go back and started wandering around the black market. Chapter 68. When he arrived at the Pokémon area, Zhang Yu discovered that there were indeed many Pokémon here, all of which were common and not very powerful. Rata, toucan, toucan bat, fox, ice penguin, trap spider, colorful butterfly, butterfly, speaker cricket. After shopping around, he no longer had the desire to buy. If it weren't for the system task, he would have left long ago. Most of the Pokémon being sold have empty eyes and dull expressions, without a trace of vitality. They are just bodies with souls, nothing more than the walking dead. After buying them, you also need to cure their psychological problems, which consumes more resources and time. Their qualifications are also average, a few are ordinary, most are elites, there are also many with professional qualifications, and very few have gym qualifications. What Zhang Yu lacks now is time, and his qualifications do not meet the requirements of the system tasks. However, he did not leave quickly, but visited most of the shops. He found that there were several gym-level Pokémon in one of the shops. Unlike the Pokémon in other shops, which had dull eyes, these Pokémon gave him an exceptionally powerful feeling. The strength of this shop was really terrifying. Zhang Yu quickly left the store. Placing the gym-level Pokémon in plain sight seemed intimidating, but it also indirectly indicated that there might be a risk of conflict in this store. However, he did not think much about it. To be able to open a store in the black market, there must be something fishy behind it. While he was strolling around, Zhang Yu showed a satisfied smile. He had been waiting for this moment. Done. Congratulations to the host, the achievement of encountering 100 Pokémon is completed. Achievement reward, 100 million system coins, a Pokémon detector. Detector? System, what is the use of the detector? Detect nearby precious Pokémon or items after use. When Zhang Yu heard the effect of the detector, his eyes lit up. Isn't this a treasure hunting instrument? However, he changed his mind and thought that with the fucked up nature of this world, it would not detect other people's Pokémon and props. The system can't detect other people's Pokémon or items, right? No, the detection object is ownerless. Those sold in shopping malls are considered ownerless. System, I'll roll my eyes at you and let you experience it yourself. Zhang Yu touched his chin. Judging from the appearance of the system, it was most likely not something from the mall. Now that we can detect treasures, we must choose a good place. Demon City is a good place, but there should be no unowned treasures. The places that can be developed nearby have almost been developed, and there are probably not many wild Pokémon. The only place where there are treasures and Pokémon is the sea. The sea was too far away from him. It was much more dangerous than land. People were restricted in every way in the sea. If one rashly entered the sea without powerful water Pokémon, it would be the same as dying on the spot. What's more, he was just a fragile high school student. Apart from Aqualad, he doesn't have any other water-type Pokémon. Even if the treasure can be detected, we can only sigh in despair. In fact, he prefers those ancient cities, such as the city where the quasi-gods were once discovered. His hometown, West City, is a good choice. It is the only two dragon-type secret realms in the Alliance, and there is also the evergreen forest next to it. There should be quite a few rare Pokémon. What's more important is that there are a lot of ancient relics. It would be great if we could find some ancient props. But there shouldn't be any quasi-gods. Every place where a quasi-god is found has been checked over and over again by the Alliance, and the ground is almost turned upside down. The imperial capital is also a good choice. There are many other places that are also good. He needs to go back and do some research and consult other people. In fact, there is another place that is a good choice. Zhang Yu looked at the energy stone he had just received in his hand. What is attractive to steel-type Pokémon will surely be attractive to rock-type and ground-type Pokémon as well. However, in this way, the detector will change from a prop with stable returns to an entry ticket for high-profile gambling. Is he gone? Seems to be gone. Idiot, if these Pokémon expose the adult's plan, I will kill you. Do you want to? Two sneaky figures walked out of the warehouse in the store just now, and several gym-level Pokémon were taken back. Zhang Yu, who had no idea about this, went around in circles and finally arrived at the egg area. What, you want 50 yuan for a piece of shit like you? It looks like shit and you're still asking, do you want to eat shit? Don't miss it if you pass by it, you won't suffer a loss if you buy it, but you will be cheated if you buy it. Boss, why are you still selling these eggs when they are about to break? Forced you to buy it. Compared with other areas, this place is crowded with people and noisy. Hearing the noisy conversation, Zhang Yu was speechless as he realized that little trolls were everywhere here. He suddenly became curious about what the black market in northeast China was like. Why are you looking at my balls? Look at what's wrong with you. I feel that this kind of scene should appear in a city in Sichuan province. Looking at the crowd in front of him, Zhang Yu struggled to squeeze to the front of the stall. He took a careful look and found that the quality of the eggs was even lower, and most of them were eggs of bug-type Pokémon. Eggs are very similar to each other. Even a PhD who studies eggs may make mistakes if he doesn't look carefully, let alone ordinary people. Among this group of eggs, he found a Quasi-King level egg, but there was a deep crack on the surface of this egg. It was also a speaker cricket egg. Those who understand will know that if it is impossible to take it, even if it is a Quasi-King level egg, it will take a long time to consider. Is thinking about it for a long time a respect for the speaker cricket? No, it is a respect for the king. Zhang Yu came to another stall. This stall was different from the previous one. Not only was it much larger, but there were also a lot of onlookers, and quotes could be heard from time to time. Zhang Yu squeezed into the crowd out of curiosity and found that the eggs in front of the stall were painted with unknown paint. He looked at the rules. The base price of eggs is the same. If multiple people like the same egg, they will bid against each other. Each set has 50 eggs, including 1 Quasi-King level, 2 gym level, and 5 professional level Pokémon. After reading the rules, Zhang Yu suddenly realized, isn't this just a blind box? The only difference is that with this method, how can the credibility be guaranteed? He took a quick look and found that there were indeed 2 gym level and 3 professional level Pokémon. Was the Quasi-King Pokémon picked up? After watching for a while, Zhang Yu felt a little bored. He found that the black market in Magic City was indeed prosperous, but the quality of Pokémon was not as good as he had imagined. At least so far, he had not seen even a single Pokémon of King qualification. There were quite a few Pokémon of Gym qualification, but they all had various problems. Hurry up, the auction is about to start. Why rush? Take a walk first. What are you shopping for? The auction happens once a month. If you miss this one, you'll have to wait until next month. There are a lot of good things in the auction. Last time, a king-level Pokémon was sold, and 3 months ago, there was a quasi-god Pokémon. Fuck, is this true? Why would I lie to you? Didn't you see that many people were heading towards the auction house? Then what are you waiting for? Hurry up and go. Auction? King-level Pokémon? Quasi-god? Zhang Yu, who was strolling around, became excited when he heard these words and followed the two of them. His team is short of Pokémon, and if there is a elite-level Pokémon at the right price, he wouldn't mind taking it. After all, the Rangxing Cup after the College Cup requires 3 Pokémon, and he is still 1 short. It is definitely better to capture it as soon as possible and start training earlier. Zhang Yu, who was following behind the two of them, wiped his face with his hand, feeling a little confused as to why the air felt more humid than when he first came. Chapter 69. Report to the Master, the Pokémon has left the secret realm. Where did you go? According to humidity monitoring, the other party is moving aimlessly. The other party seems to be looking for something. What are you looking for? Continue tracking and expand the monitoring scope. The subject is not moving. Several mysterious people came to the screen in an instant. Number 157, Fanhua Road. Is there anything special here? One of them frowned. It looks like there's a black market there. Another person said uncertainly. Following the two old men to the auction house and paying a 2 yuan entrance fee, Zhang Yu waited for a while in his exclusive seat before the auction began. I saw a sexy woman in a purple cheongsam walking to the front. Her plump breasts and buttocks formed a sharp contrast. Coupled with her figure that supported the cheongsam, countless men were willing to go crazy for her. The auction has officially begun. The charming voice of a woman rang in everyone's ears. Please look at the first item below. As soon as the host finished speaking, a transparent glass box was pushed up, with a strange, black and purple stone placed in it. Although the stone was illuminated by bright light, it also gave off a dark atmosphere that made people feel uncomfortable. As you can see, this is a dark stone of extremely high quality. Everyone here is an elite trainer. I believe everyone understands how important this A-level dark stone is. It can not only help Pokémon evolve, but also quickly improve the aptitude of ghost-type Pokémon. Starting price 300 million yuan. As soon as the host finished speaking 310W, someone couldn't wait to make an offer. The moment Zhang Yu saw the dark stone, his eyes never left it. He was tempted, but unfortunately he couldn't touch his wallet. Pokémon that evolve using dark stones are very powerful. Murkrow evolves into Raven Chief. The Dream Demon evolves into the Dream Demon. The Double Scabbard evolves into a Shield Sword monster. The Lamp Ghost evolves into the Crystal Lamp Spirit. Although the last two almost killed him, it did not stop Zhang Yu from liking them. The Crystal Lamp Spirit and the Shield Sword monster were really too powerful and very handsome. After a while, the price reached 500 million yuan, and was finally bought by a masked man for 530 million yuan. You can buy a gym-qualified Pokémon at this price. These people are crazy. A-level evolution stones are rare, but they are not worth the price. I can't imagine how much an S-level evolution stone would cost. The next things that were pushed up were some props, mostly B grade, with one A grade. Zhang Yu couldn't help but marvel at the strength of this auction house. There were rare things like A-grade props and A-grade evolution stones. He remembered that last time in the Pokémon building in the capital, he hadn't seen an A-grade dark stone. Zhang Yu watched the group of people competing to bid like an outsider until the end of the auction, when some precious items were pushed up. Next is the Pokémon that will be the finale of this auction. A Pokémon egg that is no weaker than a quasi-god Pokémon egg. Before the host finished speaking, the people in the audience could no longer sit still. What? Which Pokémon is weaker than a quasi-god? I just want to say this auction house is awesome. My trip was not in vain. Isn't it stolen from the Alliance? I, Wang Teng, want this egg. How dare you? We in the Sky Blasting Gang haven't said anything yet, so why should you speak? Seeing the chaos in the audience, the host smiled slightly and did not stop it. After a while, he slowly said, "Everyone, please be quiet." With just these few words, the audience instantly fell silent. Everyone looked at the host eagerly, waiting for her next words. The host was very satisfied with everyone's performance. He slowly pulled down the red curtain, whetting the audience's appetite. This is an aluminum steel dragon egg. As for where it came from, I'm sorry I can't tell you. The entire venue was instantly filled with exclamations from the audience. Pokémon, aluminum steel dragon. Attribute, steel dragon. Gender, male. Features, perseverance. Qualification, quasi-king. Moves. Zhang Yu also widened his eyes. Aluminum steel dragon? He never expected that this egg was actually an aluminum steel dragon. There was no such species as aluminum steel dragon in the Alliance. Alphatron is a Pokémon unique to the United States and the European Federation. It is absolutely not allowed to be sold in other countries, otherwise it will be included in the wanted list by the United States and the European Federation. Although aluminum steel dragon is not a quasi-god, its evolved form is definitely not weaker than other quasi-gods, and its attribute combination is extremely excellent. The combination of steel and dragon brings 9 resistances, 1 immunity and only 2 weaknesses, fighting and ground, which is enough to deserve the word god. Therefore, with the vigorous promotion by the United States and the European Federation, many people regard aluminum steel dragon as a quasi-god. The aluminum steel bridge dragon is terrifying enough in the rain. Its 130-watt electric-type exclusive move, Electric Beam, does not need to be charged on rainy days and can be released directly. It's a pity that Electric Beam is not a move of this type. His physical defense is also quite good, and there are many moves in his skill pool that can fill in blind spots. His loud roar can make up for his weaknesses in special defense. This is also a quasi-king level Alucard, which can completely rival the king level Pokémon. What's more, there is a secret that only he knows, that is, the Aluminum Bridge Dragon can be Gigantamaxed. Once the Aluminum Bridge Dragon Gigantamax is announced, I am afraid that this egg. The origin of this egg, could it be that some superstar from the United States or the European Federation died? No, even if the king is dead, there would be no aluminum steel dragon eggs, unless it is wild. There is another possibility. Hiss, Zhang Yu took a breath of cold air. Could this have been poached from Europe and the United States? If this is true, it would be dangerous. The alliance might be caught in a diplomatic crisis, which, if not handled properly, might lead to a joint siege from other countries. Anyone who takes a picture of this egg should be careful, but it is relatively safe within the alliance as long as you don't commit suicide by traveling abroad. It would be a lie to say that he was not tempted. Unfortunately, Zhang Yu did not have the financial resources to support him to acquire it. Even if he spent all his family fortune to acquire it, it would be fine. It would also be nice to sell it to the alliance and make a small profit. Finally, under Zhang Yu's envious gaze, the aluminum steel dragon was bought by a mysterious man at a price of 6500W. Zhang Yu was somewhat disappointed. He was a complete outsider in this auction. He had hoped to pick up a bargain, but unfortunately he had no chance at all. The auction was coming to an end and I was about to leave when I heard the host say, "To thank all the guests for their support of this auction house, we will share some benefits with you. Here are 50 Pokémon eggs, each worth 100 million yuan. Although these Pokémon eggs are defective, they are still a good choice to take back for cooking. First come, first served." With the foundation of the previous auction, many people were curious about these eggs and did not leave immediately. Instead, they walked to the front of the stage to observe the eggs carefully. The moment he saw the eggs, Zhang Yu raised the auction sign at the fastest speed in his life. "Since everyone is so hesitant, I'll set an example for you. I want the egg in the 2th column of the 5nd row. A secluded coast." Grumpy. The snorkel slowly emerged from the sea. Several stowaways surfaced. One of them looked at the devil with cold eyes, and said hysterically, "My son can't die in vain, I want them to pay with their lives." Then they looked at each other, nodded, and disappeared into the sea. The calm sea suddenly turned into turbulent waves. Chapter 70. The brother sitting next to Zhang Yu saw how decisive he was and said, "Brother, you are not a shill, right? You never bid a price from the beginning to the end of the auction. How come you immediately bid a price when you saw these problematic eggs?" The people in front who were originally observing the group of eggs with great interest and trying to find a complete egg, looked at Zhang Yu with ill intentions, as if to say, "If you ask me for help, I will kill you." Zhang Yu showed an embarrassed expression, and ignored the murderous gazes of the crowd. He shouted to the host, "I'm not a shill, I really am not, I want this egg, how can I get it?" The more he said this, the more suspicious everyone became, and their eyes kept flickering between Zhang Yu and the host. The host looked at Zhang Yu, somewhat puzzled. No one told her that she had asked for favors, and there was no need to ask for favors for these eggs, as they were all problematic eggs. However, in order to maintain the orderly progress of the on-site activities, she planned to let Zhang Yu leave quickly, and then showed a professional smile and said, "Dear guest, you can take the egg away now. Someone will take you away. Just hand it over before leaving." Hearing this, Zhang Yu lowered his head, walked quickly to the front desk with a guilty look, ignored the host's puzzled look, picked up the egg, and left the scene with the staff. "Hey," Zhang Yu took a deep breath and looked at his phone. He didn't expect that it was already 8 o'clock in the evening. This trip to the black market was simply the best decision he had ever made. "I thought the biggest gain this time was the Steelix Mega Evolution Stone, but I didn't expect a Pokémon egg to appear in the end. In this way, the 3 Pokémon required for the Rancine Cup are complete. This Pokémon is quite rare, and countless scholars are curious about its internal structure, and even Zhang Yu is no exception. The burning bug has an additional important task, which is to hatch the Pokémon eggs. It would be best if they could be hatched during this period so that they can participate in the training program. Ant Tang is a water-type trainer, but she has gym level experience and can give some pointers. Zhang Yu suppressed his excitement. His behavior just now was indeed a little abnormal. He hoped that no one would notice his abnormality. He was not sure if someone was following him, so he could only pretend to be calm and slowly walked out of the black market. Jengar hid in his shadow and didn't give him any feedback, which meant he was safe for the time being, which made him feel slightly relieved. Just as he came to the roadside to hail a car, he seemed to sense something and his expression was slightly stunned. He held the egg in one hand, put the other hand into his pocket and quickly took it out, holding the egg with both hands, and quickly ran into the alley at the corner. "Boss, this guy ran into the alley. It seems he found us. That's even better. We don't have to waste time looking for a place to kill him. Let's follow him. After killing him, we can go find that Pokémon. How dare a little brat go to the black market alone? Let's teach him a lesson on behalf of his parents." After seeing Zhang Yu coming out of the auction house, several figures followed him stealthily. Zhang Yu, who ran into the alley, just felt the feedback from Jengar. Several eyes were watching him leave. He was a little confused. Logically speaking, he didn't do anything special, nor did he spend a lot of money to buy anything, so why would the other party target him? Could it be this egg? Or is he just born unlucky? Could it be that this fucked up world has started again? After running for a distance, Zhang Yu looked around and found that he had reached a dead end. The surroundings were empty, enough for his Pokémon to perform. He turned around and said calmly, "Come out. What's your intention in following me secretly? Boy, how did you find us?" Three figures slowly emerged at the entrance of the alley. Seeing that the other party was masked, it was obvious that he came prepared. Zhang Yu frowned. Was the other party intentionally following him? Otherwise, why would he be masked? He had no enemies when he came here, and only had conflicts with the Chen family. Could it be the Chen family? Is this how big families behave? There is no bottom line at all. It seems that he has raised the big family too high. I have to be careful about this kind of thing in the future. Seeing that Zhang Yu did not reply, the tall man in the middle of the other side said, "Hand over the money, Pokeballs and eggs in your arms, and you can get out. Don't waste my time. I have something else to do later." Money and eggs? Just simply attracted by money? This made him even more confused. He only spent 200 million yuan in total, and there were many people who spent more than him. Why did they target him? Just because he was handsome? If you have the ability, come and get it yourself. Zhang Yu's tone was full of sarcasm. Before coming here, he asked his mother for help. He is no longer the person who could only run away in the secret realm. He is now terribly strong. Oh, the little kid is quite arrogant. You are so brave. I will break both of your legs later. I want to see if you can still remain calm with this stinky face of yours. Don't cry later. If it doesn't work, you can call your mother over. Ha 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 ha. Hearing this, Zhang Yu's eyes instantly became icy cold. He stared at the other person as if he was looking at a dead person. Seeing Zhang Yu's expression, the three of them seemed to have seen some interesting toy. Yo yo yo, look at this look. Scared me. The three of them kept approaching Zhang Yu, and after reaching a certain distance, Zhang Yu threw a high-level ball. A red light flashed, and the nanny bug crossed its blade-like hands to protect Zhang Yu in front of it, looking at the other party fiercely. Due to system reasons, the nanny bug cannot fight, but its strength is at the elite level, which should be enough to attract the opponent's attention. Not knowing the opponent's exact strength, Zhang Yu planned to appear weak. After finding out the situation, he would take back the babysitter bug and summon his mother's Pokémon to catch them off guard. The moment the nanny bug was seen, mocking laughter broke out in the dark alley. "Are you happy that the babysitter is taking care of you, little brat? He's really a little brat, fuck, he's a babysitter. Since you sent a nanny bug, I'll break both of your arms, ha 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 ha." The dark night gradually covered Zhang Yu, and no one could see his expression clearly. After a while, the laughter faded and the three of them threw out Pokeballs. Snake, Ghastly, Arbok, and Golbat, 3 elite-level Pokémon and 1 professional-level Pokémon. With this kind of strength, you still dare to cause trouble for him? It seems that the 3 opponents are really greedy for money, or they are bad to the core. These 4 Pokémon are extremely powerful to ordinary people. I don't know how many families they have destroyed. If it weren't for his mother's protection, I'm afraid he would have died here today. It is not a pity for such a person to die. Zhang Yu had already sentenced the other party to death in his heart. Zhang Yu then took back the nanny bug. Seeing this, the three men thought Zhang Yu was going to surrender. It's too late to be afraid now, people who don't know their own situation. But they will be eaten clean, kid. Come here, hand over your things, break your legs, and crawl out of here. The other four Pokémon also smiled mockingly. Zhang Yu didn't say anything, but threw out another high-level ball from his waist, and a red light flashed. A yellow figure appeared in front of Zhang Yu. Chapter 71. A Pokémon with a yellow body, a chest and shoulders wrapped in brown armor, a spoon in each hand, and exuding a strong superpower aura appeared in front of everyone. The moment the Pokémon appeared, the other four Pokémon showed fear in their eyes and their bodies trembled continuously. Nat and Zubat fell from the air tremblingly. The four Pokémon didn't even have the ability to resist and lay motionless on the ground. The three of them sensed the aura of this Pokémon and said in horror, "A king-level Alakazam. How is it possible that a little kid actually has a king-level Pokémon?" One of them fell to his knees, waving his hands and slapping himself wildly. "I was wrong, please forgive me, please let us go." The other two were instantly awakened, and followed their companion's example, kneeling down and slapping themselves madly. Seeing that Zhang Yu didn't make any move, the three men slapped themselves harder and harder, thinking they could escape this disaster. They secretly swore that if they saw Zhang Yu again, they would kill him by surprise. This is the deterrent power of the king-level Pokémon. Alakazam. The three of them immediately looked at Zhang Yu with hopeful eyes. Strong mind, attack 4 Pokémon. I saw purple superpower energy gushing out towards the other party like a tsunami. Under the horrified expressions of the three people, the 4 Pokémon suddenly fainted on the ground, and Zhang Yu's tall figure kept walking towards them. After a while, Zhang Yu came in front of the 3 people, slowly squatted down, pulled off the mask of the man in the middle, and grabbed the masked man's hair, forcing the masked man to look up at Zhang Yu. "Why are you following me? Why do you know my age? I saw you buy a lot of stones, and go to an auction, and come out holding an egg. Your voice sounds like a high school student." So. Before Zhang Yu could say anything, the other party had already burst into tears, his face full of fear, and there was a pool of unknown liquid on the ground. "So you think I'm easy to bully?" Zhang Yu, who got the answer, ignored the other party, let go of his hand, stood up, kicked him in the face, kicked him away, and then said without looking back, "Who deal with them? Let me go. Please let me go. I will work like a slave for you, please. I still have millions in savings, I'll give them all to you, please let me go." Yes, I have a secret, the black market recently. Wait, you'll regret killing us. We are. Hearing Zhang Yu's order, the 3 of them rushed to grab Zhang Yu's trouser legs, but after just a few seconds, these hands gradually lost their strength and slipped to the ground. In the pitch-black night, Zhang Yu's figure was stretched out very long, and a strange claw stretched out from the shadow, silently dragging several corpses on the ground into the deep shadow. "Captain! It's bad. The signals from everyone in Team 9 have disappeared." "What? Are you sure? Damn, it's Team 9 again? Are they going to bully kids again? If they didn't have someone behind them, I would never allow these scumbags to join the organization. Fuck, I hope we won't be exposed. Notify Team 8 and ask them to investigate the whereabouts of Team 9. Nothing can go wrong at this critical moment." Back on the street, looking at the gorgeous neon lights, he felt a little dazed. He had imagined this kind of thing happening, but he didn't expect it to happen so soon. But he did not blame himself for his behavior. If it were not for the protection of Pokémon, he would have left this world long ago. He couldn't imagine what his mother would be like at that time. He was just a little shocked at how accepting he was. He thought there would be a process of acceptance, but he didn't expect that after seeing several lives disappear before his eyes, he actually felt a sense of relief. Shaking his head, Zhang Yu said self-deprecatingly, "I am really good at accepting things." Then he closed his eyes, took a deep breath, waved on the side of the road, and a taxi stopped. In the car, Zhang Yu's hands holding the egg were shaking slightly. The driver saw his stiffness from the rearview mirror and consoled him, "This is your first time betting on eggs, little brother." Zhang Yu was stunned, scratched his head a little embarrassedly and said, "Yeah, it's my first time, I bought it on impulse." "Ha ha ha, it's always like this the first time you bet." "It was my first time betting on eggs. I didn't sleep well until the eggs hatched. I was hoping to hatch a powerful Pokémon." The driver obviously also had rich experience in betting on eggs. He kept looking at the eggs in Zhang Yu's hand. "Brother, what kind of eggs did you choose from? What kind of egg group?" He just glanced at it and didn't remember what Pokémon were there. "It seems to be a ghost system." Hearing Zhang Yu's answer, the driver was a little unbelievable. "Brother, you don't know what the attributes of the egg group are." As a driver who hangs out in the gambling egg area when he has nothing to do, he has a deep understanding of the gambling egg area. Pokémon eggs with dragon, ghost, fairy, steel, and psychic attributes will not appear in the gambling egg group. Eggs with these attributes are easy to sell and are very popular in the black market. There are a lot of things to bet on eggs. The prices of eggs of each attribute are different. For example, the price of bug-type eggs is very low. The driver couldn't help but explain to Zhang Yu, and at the same time comforted him, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes they get confused and there are other Pokémon mixed in with the bug-type eggs. If you're lucky, you can get a bargain. Zhang Yu said optimistically, "It doesn't matter. I just feel that I have a connection with it." The driver sighed in his heart. Kids nowadays are so carefree. Maybe he is just another ignorant rich kid. The last thing Shanghai lacks is rich people. He has seen too many such people. It's a pity that his parents have raised him up so much. Zhang Yu was a little absent-minded, and his eyes were not on the egg, but thinking about what the three people had not finished saying just now. What are they? Will something happen in the black market recently? But this has nothing to do with him, and he has no plans to go to the black market again recently. While Zhang Yu was in a daze, his cell phone rang. Seeing his mother's name on the screen, Zhang Yu clicked to answer the call. In the air, a man in black was sitting on a fire-breathing dragon flying at full speed. Seeing the receiver in his hand stop flashing, the man in black muttered to himself, "It seems that the problem has been solved." Not long after, the man in black came to the alley. Seeing no signs of fighting around him, he frowned and said, "The air is so humid, is it a water Pokémon?" Roar Charizard suddenly turned around and roared towards somewhere, taking a fighting stance. "Who?" The man in black suddenly looked back. "Nobody?" "No, his Charizard has been through hundreds of battles and will definitely not be wrong." After returning home safely, Zhang Yu breathed a sigh of relief and put the egg on the table. Next, the question is what to do with the egg. Chapter 72. After returning to the room, Zhang Yu looked at the egg in front of him. He never expected that the fourth Pokémon would come so quickly. Pokémon, Mysterious Hill. Attribute, Ghost Fairy. Gender female. Features, painted skin. Qualification, semi-champion. Moves, curse, same life. Description, this is a broken, life-threatening egg that requires a large amount of ghost nutrient solution to be saved. The broken Pokémon egg is somewhat similar to the original state of the burning bug. But why can Mimikyu be revived with just nutrient solution? System, why can the Mimikyu be revived by the nutrient solution, but the burning bug can't be revived? This burning bug is different from ordinary Pokémon. Only the power of some legendary Pokémon can save it. Zhang Yu was somewhat shocked when he heard the system's reply, but it was also within his expectations. After some speculation about the origin of the burning bug, he also understood that the life level of this burning bug was fundamentally different from that of ordinary Pokémon. However, he was still a little shocked. Only the power of some divine beasts could save him. The information content of this sentence was really shocking. Zhang Yu suddenly understood why the burning bugs appeared in the Shenzhou Alliance and not anywhere else. Because Feng Wang is in the Shenzhou Alliance. The parents of the burning worm definitely knew about the existence of the Ho-Oh, and they also knew its approximate location. Perhaps when the burning bug appeared in the Shenzhou Alliance, Ho-Oh had already noticed this egg. He went to the capital, and then, the Phoenix King suddenly appeared in the capital. Ho-Oh definitely knows about the burning worm and its parents. In other words, his every move is under the eyes of this great being. When he thought of this, Zhang Yu felt as if an electric current ran through his body and goosebumps appeared on his skin. Hey, the more he understood the secrets behind the burning worm, the more afraid he became, as if there was a terrifying shadow looming behind it. He couldn't think about it, he couldn't think about it. The more curious he was, the more he wanted to unveil the veil behind it, but he didn't have the strength to do so. At least, it takes champion-level strength to uncover this secret? He didn't know, but could a champion-level strength allow him to access such secrets? Champion-level strength, even a level 2 god wouldn't take it seriously. It's too far away. Let's take one step at a time and look at what's in front of us first. Then Zhang Yu set his sights on the egg. Mimikyu is a steady and lonely Pokémon. It wants to be as popular as Pikachu. It wears rags like Pikachu and is often mistaken for Pikachu. No one has ever seen its true form. Legend has it that everyone who has seen Mimikyu's true form has been scared to death. Since Mimikyu's body is below the puppet, the 2 dots on the puppet's belly are actually its eyes, and its mouth is at the bottom of the puppet. After being attacked, the fake head above Mimikyu's body will droop. The combination of Ghost and Fairy brings good resistance, immunity to General, Fighting and Dragon types, 4 times resistance to Insect type, and only 2 weaknesses, Ghost and Steel. Excellent skill pool, with preemptive moves and high power moves in this series, as well as a wealth of auxiliary moves, including electromagnetic waves, magic space, phosphorus fire, coquetry, light wall, mist field, and magic. Although its race stats are only 476, its speed and physical attack are pretty good, and it has an excellent special defense of 105. The most important thing is that its characteristics are too strong and have been weakened by the authorities. Mimikyu once became famous and powerful in the world for his skill of painting skins. Painted skin, immune to 1 attack, an extremely powerful trait. That is to say, you are invincible for 1 round, and you can do a sword dance during that round. If 1 time is not enough, then put on a shawl of momentum and do another sword dance. The Mimikyu who performed the sword dance twice, combined with the first order move of this system, the shadow attack, can kill any god that stands in its way. If the opponent is a dragon, just play around and say, "Sorry, your emperor is back." Mimikyu can also take the auxiliary path thanks to its characteristics. After all, it has 2 lives. It is suitable for supporting, output, or relying on preemptive moves to get kills. Similar to Magearna in the team, but without Magearna's ability to stay on the field. It seems impressive, but it is really impressive. The key point is that sword dance requires a skill book to learn, which he doesn't have and can't afford, which makes him very uncomfortable. I sighed. It seems I need to work hard to save money recently. I remember that the price of sword dance was around 800W last time I saw it in Beijing. Money is actually secondary. Sword dance, a move that greatly enhances attack, has always been in short supply. He can accept a higher price, but he just has no channel to buy it. The 4 little ones surrounded the egg, looking at it with curiosity. Except for the nanny bug, the other 3 little ones saw the egg for the first time and couldn't help but feel surprised, as if they had been hatched from such a small egg. The moment it saw the egg, the nanny bug's eyes turned into the shape of a heart. It carefully held the egg in its arms and gently leaned its head against the egg, as if listening to the heartbeat in the egg. Seeing that Babybug was happy, Zhang Yu felt relieved. When other Pokémon were training, Babybug would inevitably feel a little lonely. With Mimikyu to accompany it, it would feel better. However, Zhang Yu will start training tomorrow. It is not a good idea to let the nanny bugs hold the eggs by his side. Should he leave them at home? No, Zhang Yu is not too reassured, so he lets his mother take the nanny bug to the laboratory. She can also get high-quality nutrient solution for free. Nutrient solution is also a considerable expense. The price of high-quality nutrient solution is between 15 and 20 yuan, and the top-level ones are more expensive. I'll tell my mom about this later and ask her to make sure she uses the best quality nutrient solution. I'll also ask the Alliance if there is any channel to buy sword dance. After training every day, he would go home and ask his mother to bring the equipment back home. He was worried about leaving it in the laboratory because it was related to his future development and he could not be careless. After the eggs recover, let the burning bugs incubate the eggs and hatch the Mimikyu as soon as possible. After arranging matters at Mimikyu, it was time to see what good things the 3 dead people had left for him. Jengar had just found a lot of things on them. Locking up the Pokeballs of 4 Pokémon, namely, Snake, Ghastly, Arbok, and Golbat, 3 elites and 1 gym level, can definitely be sold for millions of dollars. I took out other things, several mobile phones, 2 wallets, there was no money in the wallets, what's the use of having wallets, poor bastard. There are also some jewelry, hey? Why is there a pager? This is the era now, pagers must have been eliminated long ago. This BB machine is still usable. When I turned it on, I found a line of words on the screen gradually fading out. Discovered, Pokémon, black market, wet, invisible, found. Seeing this message, Zhang Yu felt something was wrong. They were looking for Pokémon? What kind of Pokémon would be on the black market? Suddenly, he thought of the aluminum steel dragon at the auction. Could it be that the other party's target is the aluminum steel dragon? If this is really possible, considering the value of the aluminum steel dragon, it is definitely worth taking this risk. Humid? Well, in the second half, Zhang Yu did feel that the black market was much more humid than when he first arrived. What does invisible mean though, wet and invisible? This is totally inconsistent with the characteristics of Steelix. Is there another Pokémon? Forget it. It has nothing to do with him. He has no plans to go to the black market in the short term, nor does he plan to sell the other party's Pokémon in the Magic City black market. It is safest to sell it in the West City black market. But he still had to be careful. He was not sure if anyone saw what happened between him and the three of them, so he still had to disguise himself when going out. While Zhang Yu continued to look through the pager, Mayana walked to the window, looked out, tilted her head with a puzzled expression. Chapter 73. The next morning, Zhang Yu came to the outside of the water secret realm and found that there were more security personnel here and patrols became very frequent. Only after passing a series of rigorous tests was Zhang Yu able to enter the secret realm of the water system. There are also many inspectors inside the water secret realm, which inevitably adds a tense atmosphere to the relaxed water secret realm. Even though the guardian of the Magic City's water secret realm is so powerful, he can still have an impact on the grassroots. Zhang Yu always had a sense of uneasiness in his heart, and an indescribable weirdness, as if something was about to happen. However, he was not worried. Before coming, he had learned about Aunt Tang's father's strength. If he was not the top in the league, he was at least among the top kings in the league. He was some distance away from the 4 heavenly kings. Needless to say, the 4 heavenly kings were the 4 strongest kings in the league and were among the best in the world. After turning left and right, he arrived at the training place. Many people had already been waiting here. Zhang Yu took a look and thought, wow, there are so many rich people. He was wearing sweatpants and a white t-shirt, which made him stand out from the crowd with this group of gorgeously dressed students. The most beautiful iceberg beauty in the crowd saw Zhang Yu coming and nodded to him. The female friend next to her noticed Tang Yuxuan's actions, touched her lightly with her arm, winked and said, "Who is it, Xian Xian? Could it be your boyfriend?" "Yes, yes, you never treated all the young men who pursued you in the past well." This time he actually took the initiative to say hello. "Who is this handsome guy? Please introduce him to us." The girls around her repeated the actions she had just performed in front of Tang Yuxuan. Seeing the sisters teasing her, she couldn't help but blush. "No, we are just friends." Zhang Yu felt a little puzzled when he saw the group of girls opposite and Tang Yuxuan blushing, but he still responded politely. After a while, Tang Kainyu came to the training ground with a serious expression, clapped her hands, and everyone's eyes were focused on Tang Kainyu. "I believe that everyone is here for the purpose of the college cup. I don't care what you were like in your class. Since you are here for my training camp, you must obey my orders. If you have any opinions or disobedience, you can leave now. Once I find that you are disobeying, I will not give you any chance and you can leave directly. Do you understand?" Tang Kainyu glanced sternly at the imposing students in front of her. "Understood." Seeing the students' uniform answers, Tang Kainyu showed a satisfied expression. It seemed that this group of students were all good. She glanced at Zhang Yu and Tang Yuxuan inconspicuously. "Next, summon your Pokémon." At the same time, Tang Kainyu summoned out her Slow King. With flashes of red light, all kinds of Pokémon appeared before everyone's eyes. The ugly fish, the white sea lion, the black seahorse, the card turtle, the bucket sharp shuttle, the violent turtle, the iron arm pistol shrimp, the double-edged pill, the blue crocodile, the blue toad, and the water-leaping fish standing next to Zhang Yu. The moment he saw the Gyarados, Zhang Yu couldn't help but feel a little sympathy for Gyarados. Looking at the Gyarados' moves, he found that all the moves it had learned were physical moves, with 3 water-based physical moves alone. To be honest, he was also greedy, because the water leap fish could not learn water-based physical moves by upgrading. Tang Kainyu glanced at the student's Pokémon and nodded expressionlessly. When she saw Zhang Yu's water leap, she frowned. According to Sloking's feedback, this water leap did not become stronger and remained at the same strength as when it was taken away. As expected, Zhang Yu is still a child and can't resist the temptation of the magic city. At the same time, Tang Yuxuan, who took away the Chaochu fish, spends her weekends training the Chaochu fish at home. In order to prevent Zhang Yu from wasting Shui Yui's qualifications, it seems necessary to talk to him. Zhang Yu didn't know that in Tang Kainyu's heart, he had been labeled as lazy. Okay, now everyone, use all your water-based moves to attack Sloking. If you don't have water-based moves, you can use other moves. Tang Kainyu needs to understand the strength of these children, find out their current shortcomings, and then prescribe the right remedies to improve their strength as much as possible. Pokémon one after another kept attacking Sloking, and Tang Kainyu would give training suggestions for each Pokémon. When it was finally the water-leaping fish's turn, everyone's eyes were focused on it. They are all people who have raised Pokémon, and they can see the strength of Smelly at a glance. It is obvious that it has just hatched from an egg and has not been trained. Everyone looked down on Shui Yu in their hearts. They wondered why he should participate in the training camp when he was so weak. Some even worse didn't even look at it, or looked at the leaping fish with disdain. Most of the people who can come here have powerful family backgrounds. From Zhang Yu's clothes, it can be seen that his family is ordinary and he is not qualified to train with them. No matter in any way, the other party can't catch up with them, so they don't take it to heart. The girls around Tang Yuxuan were even more outspoken and whispered, Xian, I'm not saying anything, but he's too weak. Who can such a weak Shui Yui beat? He's not even qualified to participate in the college cup. If you like this type, I'll introduce you to someone else one day. This guy is just a show-off. Tang Yuxuan's face looked a little unhappy. Her mother was teaching, and it was not convenient for her to argue with them. She took a few steps back and moved a little away from them. From the expressions of these students, Zhang Yu could roughly guess what they were thinking. Having lived two lives, he didn't feel anything. He knew that although they were under the same sky, these people belonged to two different worlds from him. They had no value that would make Zhang Yu pay attention to them. His target was never this group of his peers. However, seeing Shui Yui's look, Zhang Yu touched his chin thoughtfully. With Shui Yui's strong character, he probably couldn't stand the contempt of others. But to some extent it is also a good thing, at least it can stimulate all the power of the water-leaping fish. The water-leaping fish can also feel the contempt and ridicule from the people around it, which makes it clench its claws and look angry. Since childhood, it has aimed to become a strong man like its father, and its self-esteem cannot tolerate other people's contempt. It will never allow itself to become a laughingstock in the eyes of this group of people. At this moment, it secretly made up its mind to break the group of people's disdainful attitude towards it. Someone wanted to criticize it, but when they saw Tang Kainyu's murderous look, they had to change their words and say, "This water-leaping fish looks so cute." Hearing the laughter, the water-leaping fish pursed its lips tightly. It was born not long ago and couldn't help feeling a little aggrieved. Its eyes became a little moist. A big hand suddenly rubbed its head. "Water-leap fish, we are the strongest." Seeing Zhang Yu sitting down, cross-legged beside it, shaking its head with his big hand, and looking into the distance, when you are weak enough, even anger will look particularly cute. Zhang Yu turned his attention to Shui Yu again. If you want others to take you seriously, then become stronger, stronger, and become stronger than everyone else. It's like no one dares to look directly at you. After hearing Zhang Yu's words, the students around him began to whisper. Ha 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 ha, I can't take it anymore, I'm dying of laughter. Hurry up, give me 2 punches, I'm going to die of laughter. Whose middle school boy is this? Oh my god, I am going to laugh so hard. Zhang Yu ignored the surroundings and looked at Shui Yu. Are you confident? Shui Yu looked at Zhang Yu, then suddenly buried its head in the soil, wiped its tears with the soil, and raised its dirty face to look at Zhang Yu. It will always remember the pain buried in the soil today. What responded to him was Shui Yu's determined gaze and courageous spirit. Chapter 74. The test was over, and there was no doubt that Squirrel was the weakest of all Pokémon. Although he still felt sad inside, under Zhang Yu's guidance, Shui Yu at least clarified his future goal to be the strongest. Unlike this group of students, Tang Kainyu saw the extraordinariness of this water-leap fish. Whether in terms of energy control, physical fitness, strength, and speed, it far surpassed Pokémon of the same level. At the same time, she made an astonishing discovery that when the water leaper was angry, its attack ability was at least 30% higher than usual, which was a rather astonishing statistic. This situation usually occurs in fire-type Pokémon, which are representatives of emotional Pokémon. Once they burst out with anger or enthusiasm, their strength will be greatly enhanced. You can try to keep the aquascaping fish in this angry or passionate mood, or any other emotion. Your aquascaping fish is a bit like a fire Pokémon. Emotions can provide it with considerable attack power. Secondly, you can try to further develop this ability. From what I've observed, this ability will improve it by about 30%. If it's developed well, maybe, it can reach the level of triggering the torrent feature, that is, triggering the torrent at full state. Tang Kainyu said uncertainly. She had never seen a Pokémon that could trigger the torrent attribute when in full condition, but just because she had never seen it didn't mean it didn't exist. She also hopes that Zhang Yu can develop the ability of Squidward, which will not only greatly enhance Squidward's strength, but other Pokémon with similar characteristics can also learn from Squidward's training method to achieve similar effects. Especially the big three mostly have this characteristic. Once successfully developed, it will definitely raise the overall strength of the alliance to a higher level. For this kind of contribution, the alliance might reward him with a quasi-god. Aqualad surpasses all Pokémon of the same level in every aspect, but this is not its upper limit. You should try to constantly break through its limits, Tang Kainyu continued after coming back to her senses. I can see that this child wants to become stronger. Breaking through the limits may cause physical damage to other Pokémon. You have the power of Evergreen, so you don't need to worry about this. If you want to surpass your opponents of the same level, this is an obstacle you must overcome. Its physical strength is excellent, probably because it practiced self-sacrifice collision when it was young. It can learn some fighting skills and strengthen its close combat ability. Its water energy control is very good, but it is not much better than other aspects of the same level. For this, you'd better feed it some top-level energy cubes, or buy a water stone and let it absorb the energy in it to improve its control. Don't give up practicing just because your control over water energy is not as good as other abilities. The proficiency of the moves can make up for the lack of control to a certain extent. Based on the performance of the water-leaping fish, Tang Kainyu analyzed its advantages and disadvantages one by one, and also put forward some targeted suggestions. Zhang Yu and Shui Yuiyu nodded from time to time and took note of Aunt Tang's words carefully. As expected of a gym-level trainer, there were some things he had indeed not considered. Especially the emotional ability of the water-leap fish, which can activate the rapids when its health is full. It's exciting just to think about it. When Tang Kainyu gave her students advice, it was already noon. In a certain room, the walls were like thick curtains, blocking the light from the outside, and darkness filled every corner. The two parties sat at opposite ends of the negotiation table. I heard that you are a know-it-all in the Magic City. Of course, the premise is that you have to tell us the clues. Find all the information about the aluminum steel dragon that appeared in the Magic City. Altanon, no problem, this rare Pokémon is easy to find, but, it depends on how much you can afford. There is 200 million in this card, and 300 million will be transferred later. Make a deal. During the lunch break, Shui Yuiyu did not rest, but continued training alone. Seeing this, Zhang Yu called out the burning bug as well. After adding weights to the water-leaping fish and the burning worm, the two little ones began endurance training. Zhang Yu was not idle either. He made a physical training plan for himself and began to train with the two little ones. Becoming stronger is not the business of a single Pokémon, but everyone's business. Smelly Fish and Infernape are still young, so as a trainer you must always be with them. When I devoted myself to training, time passed by like flowing water, and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Soon it was afternoon. The students who had finished their lunch break came to the training ground with sleepy eyes. Seeing the state of Zhang Yu, the burning bug and the water-leaping fish, they couldn't help but feel a little ridiculous and showed disdainful expressions. The gap cannot be made up by hard work. Do you still want to follow in our footsteps? Save it. And what the hell is this burning bug? Do you know burning bug? Do you want to capture a rare Pokémon when you see it? Such a brainless person wants to catch up with us? If anyone can catch up with us, then aren't we just trash? Tang Kainyu saw the status of Zhang Yu and his Pokémon and nodded slightly. At least Zhang Yu listened to what she said just now. She was very satisfied with Zhang Yu's attitude, but Zhang Yu and his water leap fish were indeed the weakest among this group of students. She likes this child very much and will try her best to help him if she can. Mo has been very uneasy recently, so she will find a chance to give him extra lessons after this period of time, Tang Kainyu thought. Clapping her hands, Tang Kainyu said to the group of children in front of her, "This afternoon, I will teach you a technique to control energy. Slowpoke, show them how to do it." I saw a ball of water condensing in front of Slowpoke, and some tiny water droplets appeared around its body, just staying still around it. Everyone knows that the faster a move is released, the better, without affecting its power. The better the energy control, the faster the moves can be released, and the smaller the impact on power will be. What is energy control? Is it the speed at which energy gathers quickly? Wrong. Big mistake. The key to energy control is not speed, but slowness. When a Pokémon can make the gathering of energy slower, it will be able to control the energy as it pleases, faster or slower as it pleases. To give you the simplest example, you have all watched a car race, right? There is a truth in car racing. The faster you go in the corners, the faster you are. When turning, there is an obvious speed change process, which is the meaning of slow. Whoever can understand slowness can achieve harmony between man and car. Everyone can accelerate in a straight line, but only by mastering slowness can you become the king of curves. As soon as Tang Kainyu finished speaking, she saw countless water droplets around the Slowpoke slowly moving towards the water mass in front. Suddenly, all the water droplets disappeared and the water mass instantly grew larger. Then the water mass suddenly exploded, and the splashing water droplets were frozen in the splashing posture as if space was solidified. I saw the water droplets moving along the splashing trajectory, very slowly, very slowly. After hearing Aunt Tang's explanation, Zhang Yu looked at the water droplets in front of the Slowpoke that were moving slowly as if they were still, as if he had suddenly been enlightened. Energy control, the key is control. Fast is just a state of control. What we should really control is the state. Chapter 75. Most of the students looked at Slowpoke in confusion, as if they understood something or not. Looking at the state of the students in front of her, Tang Kainyu secretly sighed. Sure enough, this technique was too advanced for these kids. When she saw the gleam in Zhang Yu's eyes, did he understand? I must have been distracted. This kind of knowledge is difficult for children to understand. Only when they have rich experience and knowledge can they understand the mystery. However, even if it is difficult, they must learn to control energy. Once they master this skill, they are at least one step ahead of others. Next, let your Pokémon try to gather energy as slowly as possible, and move slowly. Tang Kainyu's words interrupted everyone's thoughts. Everyone was confused. How could they practice this? Don't worry, the Pokémon will understand. No one can understand this situation better than them. Communicate with your Pokémon carefully. This method is not only applicable to water attribute Pokémon, but also to any attribute Pokémon. Okay, everyone start practicing, I will continue to give you guidance. Zhang Yu came back to his senses and said in his heart that this special training was worth it. Aunt Tang's explanation made him understand a lot of things and also made him guess about some applications. Then he looked at the burning worm and water-leaping fish beside him, and relayed Aunt Tang's words and his own understanding to the two little ones. The water-leaping fish looked confused, but it still managed to gather water droplets in front of it in an orderly manner. However, during the slow movement, it lost control and all the water droplets fell from the air. Seeing his failure, Shui Yuiyu showed an expression full of fighting spirit and determined to continue practicing. Sparks appeared in front of the burning insect's eyes and moved slowly. Seeing the operation of the burning bug, Zhang Yu's eyes flashed with light, full of expectation and surprise. He was indeed a burning bug with master qualifications. However, just as the sparks were gathering, they suddenly became unstable and a small explosion occurred. When the students heard the sound, they turned their heads and saw that it was Zhang Yu's burning bug. They couldn't help but reveal meaningful expressions, full of sarcasm. The burning bug tilted its head and opened its mouth slightly, revealing a cute thinking expression. Then its eyes lit up, as if it understood something. Then the sparks appeared again, just like the previous process, except that the final process of spark gathering became more stable and controllable. Become. The burning bug raised its head proudly, with an expression that said, "Come and praise me." Zhang Yu did as it wished, reached out and touched its head, and tidied up the fur of the burning bug. Great, it's worthy of being my first Pokémon. Hearing Zhang Yu's praise, the burning bug raised its head so high that it almost touched his back. V. But go slower, slower, and keep slowing down, Zhang Yu put forward higher requirements. Okay. Zhang Yu set his sights on the leaping fish. The man and the fish kept trying, constantly discovering problems and correcting them, and finally successfully achieved their goal. Then Shui Yuiyu, like his sister, moved towards a more difficult goal. After training for a while, Shui Yuiyu was already exhausted and out of breath, but the burning worm state did not change much, which made Shui Yuiyu very envious. At the same time, she also saw the gap between herself and her sister and made up her mind to work harder. Zhang Yu picked up the Shui Yuiyu and slowly used Changpan's power to restore the Shui Yuiyu. He saw the efforts of the Shui Yuiyu. Compared with other Pokémon in the team, Smelly's qualifications are indeed not outstanding, but Zhang Yu has seen its efforts, and he needs to pay more attention to Smelly. Just as Zhang Yu was thinking, a fragrant breeze blew. When he looked up, he saw an icy beauty walking towards him gracefully and lightly. How's the training going? I see you've been working hard. Tang Yuxuan sat next to him generously and naturally. It's normal. It's still difficult to practice the water leap fish. Zhang Yu sighed. What about you? Aunt Tang should have taught you these things. There are some things my mom hasn't taught me, and this is my first time practicing. It feels so difficult. Tang Yuxuan held her cheek with her hand, looking a little distressed. On the other side, a group of boys gathered together. Lao Deng, your dream lover has gone to see that poor boy. Is there something fishy going on? The person who spoke grumbled to the boy next to him. Get lost. Tang Yuxuan is so cool and aloof, there is no way she would fall for that silly boy. The boy was a little angry and embarrassed. People around me kept adding fuel to the fire, that's not necessarily true. I heard that girls like guys who ignore them. Old Wang, don't blame us for not reminding you when the time comes. Hearing this, the man looked at Zhang Yu with some jealousy, and then walked towards Zhang Yu with his double-edged pill. The friends around me made faces at each other, it was going to be a good show to watch. Feeling unusual, Zhang Yu looked at the boy who was walking towards him aggressively with some confusion, but when he saw that the other party's eyes were always glancing at Tang Yuxuan beside him, he instantly understood the problem. Wang Yeyu came up to the two of them and said to them with what he thought was a friendly smile, "How is your training going, guys? I've figured out some tips. Let's exchange ideas." After saying that, he looked at Zhang Yu with sharp eyes. Zhang Yu was somewhat speechless. Beauty is a disaster. Women only affect the speed at which I draw my sword. If you want to become stronger, draw your sword and kill Tang Yuxuan first. Seeing that Zhang Yu didn't say anything, Wang Yeyu couldn't help feeling a little proud. It seemed that the other party was shocked by his strength, so he let his double-edged pill demonstrate his energy control skills. A few drops of water were moving tremblingly in the air, and they might fall if they were not careful. Wang Yeyu looked at Zhang Yu with a provocative look. Zhang Yu and Burning Bug just felt that Wang Yeyu was mentally retarded. How dare he show off at this level? Did he want to make him laugh to death? When Shui Yuiyu saw someone coming to provoke him, he showed the results of his training and fought back without hesitation. Seeing the results displayed by the water-leaping fish, Wang Yeyu and Tang Yuxuan stared at the water-leaping fish with their eyes flashing with disbelief and a hint of astonishment. How is it possible? His water-leaping fish aptitude should also be at the king level. How could he have mastered the technique so quickly? Tang Yuxuan obviously couldn't accept this fact. But the most shocked person was Wang Yeyu in front of him. He roared loudly in his heart in disbelief. It was impossible, absolutely impossible. How could this poor boy master it before me? He must have learned it before. Yes, it must be like this. As if afraid that Wang Yeyu didn't see it clearly, the water-leaping fish demonstrated it again in front of him, and this time the movement of the water droplets was even slower. Seeing this, Wang Yeyu's face turned red with anger, but what else could he say since he was not as skilled as his opponent? He could only say one harsh word, "Just wait, I'm going to show you the gap between you and me." He secretly decided to bring the things his father brought home to Zhang Yu in a few days to open his eyes and let Zhang Yu know what real strength is. There is an unbridgeable gap between him and Zhang Yu.